All right, everybody. Welcome to our live D&D session. I am going to step away and let these wonderful people drink and play Dungeons and Dragons. Hopefully, I'll be able to take part in it somewhat. Maybe at least watch a little bit. But I think you guys are in for a ride of your life. So, Gareth, you take it away, and I'll see you guys later.
Cool. Right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to D&D, or technically 13th Age, which is our D&D variant, which I know better than regular D&D. So we're using that, go damn it. I have sent you all semi-completed reading characters, which during the week I hope people have looked at.
I have. All of
Yes.
Yes. I did my homework. Yes,
I made notes and everything.
This is far more prep than I've done.
That's a worry, really.
It was my first time, and I wanted to make a good impression.
So, what we'll do is we shall quick introductions first, I suppose, for everyone, and give me your real life type name, the standard, what books you've done, plug bit, and also your character's name and type. So, who wants to go first?
No one.
Silence. This is going to be
Dead air straight away.
I have a plan. I shall roll a dice. Give this a role-playing game. You guys have picked Mr. G.R. Matthews. So, Jeff, take it away.
Thank you. Right, I'm Jeff Matthews, G.R. Matthews. I've written some books in Ancient China, Stone Road, and some sci-fi, the Corin Hay series. And my next book is Seven Deaths of an Empire from Solaris Rebellion Press in June of this year. My character I'm looking forward to is a halfling rogue merchant called Scramish Foundwell.
Beautiful.
Okay. Next, the dice shall pick Anna.
Okay. Hello. I am Anna Stevens, author of the Goblin Trilogy and the Songs of the Drowned, first book of which is The Stone Knife, came out in November 2020. I am playing a dwarf barbarian who apparently only has an 8 charisma, and anyone who's ever met me knows that that's probably accurate, actually. So she's very much an angry young lady, not least because she was graced with the name Bunny Smallbottom when she was born.
Benny, is it?
So when Bunny wants to rage, you are in trouble, people.
Right. Next, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 6. Justin.
Hello, I'm Justin Lee Anderson. I have written 2 books, an urban fantasy comedy called Carpet Diem and an epic fantasy mystery called The Lost War, which is a finalist in this year's Spiffbo. And my character is an elf wizard called Aryan Ravenblood, who has a very high opinion of himself.
All your wizards do, Justin.
It seems to be a thing with wizards. They have very high opinions of themselves. I don't know why that is.
And finally, Steve.
My name's Steve McHugh. I'm the author of the Harlequin Chronicles, the Avalon Chronicles, the Rebellion Chronicles, the last book of which came out in December. So that's 13 books all in. And I am playing a Wood Elf Ranger by the name of Bane Fang Whisper.
Oh, nice.
From a long line of Fang Whispers, all of whom are evil bastards. And he is not. And he is disappointed his parents greatly in his job choice of not being evil.
We raised you to be evil.
yeah, pretty much.
Excellent. Right. You are a sort of semi-generic party of wandering adventurers. We'll get onto how you met in a moment. 30th Age is very, very similar to most like D&D-esque F20 variants. You've got your standard strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom and charisma. Wisdom and charisma. You roll d20s to attack. There's armor classes, there are hit points. All these things are quite familiar. The wrinkle the 30th Age adds are icons, backgrounds, and one unique things. Backgrounds are basically skills, but they're phrased in terms of things your character has done in the past. Normally, we would have you guys define them at this point, but because it's a one-shot and because we're pressed for time and because we're fun, you can define them on the fly during the game. So if I call for a skill check to say, I don't know, prize a jewel from a demon statue, or prize the eye of a demon statue, I say, give me a dexterity check. You can go, aha! But I spent the apprenticeship as a jeweler, so I get a +3 bonus to this. Or I was an demon sculptor, or I was a satanic or these are demon skills. So we can elide over those for the moment. Icons. 30th Age takes the position quite reasonably that in most fantasy campaigns there are your usual bunch of sort of high-level movers and shakers. So you've got the Elf Queen, the Emperor, the High Druid, the Dwarf King, and so forth, and evildoers like the Lich King, the Prince of Shadows. I sent you guys a list of the icons. Did you guys have a chance to glance at that?
Yep.
Yes.
So each of you are going to pick 2 icons to have relationships with, or if you want, you can double up on one of them. And relationships can be positive, negative, or conflicted. Again, because this is a one-shot, it possibly won't come up that much, but it will give me a clue as to what sort of stuff your character is into. So if you have a conflicted relationship with the priestess, then I'm probably going to guess you want to have some vague religious bits in there. If you have a 2-point negative relationship with the Lich King, then you probably want to go kill the undead. So, who wants to leap on the grenade first, or will let the dice decide again?
Well, I think my character definitely has a very strong affinity with the Elf Queen.
Okay.
Because he's very proud of being an elf and part of elf royalty, so he considers himself to be distantly related to the Elf Queen, in fact. That's
perfectly fair. Are you indeed elf royalty?
Sorry?
Are you indeed elf royalty, or is that merely a aspiration on your part, or a sort of?
I certainly think I am. It may be a slightly tenuous claim,
Right.
but I would argue it. I would argue it with anyone who doesn't know better.
Okay. So, a 1 or 2 point relationship with the Elf Queen? Do you spend both your points there, or just one?
I think we'll put them both there. I think everybody else is beneath my consideration. The Elf Queen is on my wall.
All right. Yeah. Cool. Right. Who wants to go next?
I don't mind going next. So I obviously have a positive relationship with the Dwarf King.
Right.
Being a dwarf.
Cool.
Pardon?
1 point or 2?
Just one. Yeah, excellent. Just one. And then I only glanced at this, so I'm going to say I've got a conflicted relationship with the Golden Worm.
Cool.
Because he's kind of like noble and everything, and Bunny wants to be noble, but Bunny is a barbarian, so she doesn't quite understand nobility, so she just hits things instead.
Excellent. The Great Gold Worm, by the way, sacrificed his physical life to block an invasion from hell, and basically his body is stuck in this giant hole into the abyss, but his spirit goes out and inspires paladins and do-gooders of all kinds. Excellent. Jeff or Steve, who's next?
Go on, Jeff.
All right, thanks. I'm going to go with the Prince of Shadows, as he is a thief. And I know, but I'm not a thief. I'm a merchant, so let's be clear on that.
Are you a legitimate businessman, Jeff? Is that what it is? Are you a legitimate businessman?
I'm in lower middle management, being a halfling. That's just, of course. So, I thought Steve jokes earlier. I stole it. But I'm going to go with the Prince of Shadows. I'm going to go 2 points with them. Positive.
2. Oh, very
for hidden agendas and stuff.
Okie dokie. And Steve?
I'm going to put 1 point in the Prince of Shadows.
Excellent.
I think Bane was brought up to kind of think of him as this kind of revered character who, you know, he's the one you should be thanking for all you've got and all we've managed to steal from all the dead people we've managed to leave in our wake. And another point in the 3.
Ooh.
I think you know, he's a little conflicted now that he's away from his old life of murder and robbing people.
Radio.
And those 3 together kind of make a whole sort of thing.
Yeah, cool. And the 3 would definitely be patrons of murdering and robbing.
Yeah,
excellent.
He's all right with that.
Right. The next thing to define for your characters, and this is the fun part, is your one unique thing. Every character in 13th Age has something that's unique about their character. It is your shtick, your not a defining feature, but something that is true for your character, only for your character. It can be as trivial or as earth-shaking as you like, bearing in mind that it may be difficult to work earth-shaking destinies into a one-shot campaign. But who knows? We'll see. To put up ideas or throw some examples from the book.
I quite like the idea of having an eidetic memory, if I'm allowed it.
Excellent. Wizard with eidetic memory. Cool.
Bunny is the youngest of 14 children.
Wow. Wow.
She grew up tough, man.
From.
And they're all boys. She's got 13 big brothers.
Awesome.
Her parents really wanted a girl, didn't they?
And then they called her Bunny, so,
Well.
Lot to answer for.
Yeah, I understand the barbarian rage from that.
Scramish is a penny pincher.
How unique? Are you the most penny pinching halfling in all the world?
Most penny pinching. The most penny pinching. If there is a coin in a gutter, he will go for it.
Excellent.
If it is in a sewer, he will go for it. If it's in a midden, he will go for it. Nothing will stop him going for that coin.
Excellent. I will not be used at all. And Steve?
Bane can tell when someone is lying. He spent so many times around people who kill people for a living and thieve and rob and all the rest of it that he's very good at spotting them.
Okay.
I imagine Scramish is already sweating in that case.
Yeah, he's got his eye on Scramish.
No, I think, yeah.
Yes. So, how did you guys meet? Given that 2 of you have Prince of Shadows connections, I'm guessing that Bane and Scramish were connected to that initially and picked up the other 2 along the way. So, what you two? What was your initial job for the Prince of Shadows that led you to be traveling together?
Well,
I was a merchant. I am a merchant, so we were taking.
He says merchant, and I say fence.
We were taking some honestly found supplies from one place to another, and my wood elf friend here was our guide and our scout for all of that.
You need good guides when you're transporting legitimate goods.
Yeah.
And you don't want them stolen, do you? That's the worst thing that could happen.
Go down the back path away from the customs posts and and so forth, just for efficiency's sake.
Yeah, the legal routes around things.
He's completely honest.
And which of the other 2 was next to join this merry band? Was the wizard or the dwarf?
Bunny has a lot to prove, being the youngest of 14 and being called Bunny. So Bunny Smallbottom left home. So she left the Crimson Fist clan and decided she was going to make a better name for herself. And she has been traveling ever since, getting into scrapes, and generally trying to do the right thing. But she doesn't always know what the right thing is, and she gets a little bit overexcited and hits people instead. So really, she needs a bit of a steadying influence. And I doubt these two are going to provide it. I'm going to fell in with them accidentally, and they've been showing her the way of the world now that she's in a more civilized society, so to speak.
It's kind of like Oliver, if Oliver had like some age. Right. And Mr. Arian Ravensblood, how did you join this group? How have you done so recently, clearly?
Very recently, I think. Arian has been out searching the world for further knowledge, for expanding his magical skills, looking for unusual texts and possibly lost spells, and bumped into this lot on the road. And this was the first elf that I'd seen for a while, and it seemed interesting. And I generally like elves more than other people, so I'll hang out with these guys for a little while and see if they take me somewhere interesting for a bit of companionship on the road. And if I get bored of them, I'll ditch them.
Excellent. Cool. Right.
Like I say, you say road, we say cunning detour.
The short path.
Yeah.
Is that because he's short?
I don't want to say that. That's not. That's no. That's what you prefer.
Right. Actually, here's a question. Are you, in fact, currently transporting a cargo of mysterious stuff?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know what's in it?
Stuff that we found, that the Prince of Shadows found, but we can't open it because it's got wax seals all around it, and we're not allowed to open that. So, not that I have, you understand. I certainly haven't opened any of it or chipped away at the corner to see what is in there.
Right.
Yeah.
You know that.
I am shocked.
You know that what's in the boxes is certainly mostly straw, from what you can tell. So the boxes contain something fragile that must be carefully packed. So let's sort of probe more deeply. It will remain a mystery for now.
The idea that there might be something of value and interest in that box had nothing whatsoever to do with me deciding to hang around. Completely coincidental.
An altruistic wizard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't forgo the right time to go, this box is damaged. Oh, we'll have to repack it.
Better just check nothing's broken inside.
Right. So the prince has asked you to deliver these boxes to Castle Hale, which is a fairly obscure domain, far from sort of centers of imperial power, so far from the law. And can I get a test out from stuff? Intelligence check from everyone to see if you've heard of Castle Hale. So people have dice.
On the basis I have an intelligence of 20, how do I even fumble that? But I rolled 13 anyway.
Basically, D20 an intelligence modifier, which in your case is a mighty +5.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yes. So yeah.
15.
What was that?
15.
15. Okay, let's pass.
18.
Aren't you all very knowledgeable?
11.
Aren't most of you very knowledgeable?
Yeah. Knowledge isn't my main thing, no.
It's far from the elves, from the Wood Elf lands. And Justin?
13.
13. Okay, so, Gior and Anna, you have heard a little about Castle Hale and the lands. You know that the Hale family has, for generations, been involved in a on-again, off-again, often quite bloody conflict with the neighbouring domain, the Quents. They basically both fought over land. There's a forest between the two, which has been fought over many, many times. It's been this long-standing feud between the two. Apparently, from what you've heard on the road, things are currently peaceful. And in fact, your shortcut is going to take you through the Quent lands firstly, and then into Hale territory where you can deliver your boxes. And you pass through the town of Utvik, which is the main settlement in the Quent barony. And there you are contacted by a messenger who says that you're invited to dine this evening with Barisimus Quent, the Baron Quent himself.
Well, it's our due, really, isn't it? This is
quite right that we should be invited to dine with the local royalty. That's exactly as I would expect. Yes.
They're all fast, like you could basically come on the back of the castle, don't go in the main entrance, please.
I'm not doing that. No.
I hope you brought your finest robe.
Main entrance in all your refinery?
Absolutely.
Fair enough.
I've never been allowed through the main entrance of anywhere, so
I'll just get inside. It's fine.
We'll see you either way.
Yeah. I'll be there. Don't worry. Somehow.
Okay. So,
Steve, can you turn your speaker up a little bit?
Is that better?
Yes.
There you go.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
right. So, Steve and Anna are going to go in the back, is it? And Justin and Gior are marching in the front gate.
it's my first time ever, so I'm proudly marching in my tall shoulders, about 2 foot off the ground, whatever, throwing back and just giving it the haughty look. I think really.
What are you doing with your wagon full of boxes? Are you going to basically leave it in a convenient nearby shed, or are you going to bring it in or hide around the back?
I feel that we should be hiding this, really.
Okay, so
We should be concealing it somewhere. Perhaps our wizard has a spell to do that. I don't know. Or
He doesn't, but honestly, he's not that bothered either way. So,
for future reference, O wizard, you can do rituals where basically you can sacrifice one of your combat spells and do a descriptive magical thingy, basically.
oh yes, okay.
But you don't need to. In fact, it would possibly be a ways to hide a wagon with an acid arrow spell or something.
Yeah, no, I'd rather have my attack spells at the moment. I'm not that bothered about this wagon.
Yeah, it's not, you're not the problem at all. So, does one of our two thieves want to? Sorry, not thieves. Our two legitimate business people, merchant and scout, want to hide the wagon somewhere.
I guess I'm hiding the wagon, aren't I?
Okay, give me. Describe how you're hiding the wagon and give me a wagon hiding roll.
A wagon. Okay.
This is not a metaphor, right?
I got a 16, which is an excellent wagon hiding roll, I think.
What ability are you using to hide this wagon? Is it like you're heavily camouflaged? Is it you're like your innate understanding?
I put a tarp over it.
Okay, are you going to camouflage?
Yeah, it's basically the entire place seems to be full of wagons, so I figured if I just put a tarp over it and put it in one corner, everyone would leave it alone.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you just look like you.
I've marked it so
in plain sight.
which one is ours, just so you're aware.
In order to just enhance the inconspicuousness of this event, Bunny is going to stand with her arms folded and attempt to whistle nonchalantly, but she can't whistle. So
No, she's just standing spitting on people as they walk past.
it is driving people away, to be fair.
Yeah.
The Scamish walks past us doing that, going, "Oh,
Yeah.
again."
Everyone looks at us and then they just walk away really quickly.
That's effective. Yeah.
To be fair, the other two do provide something of distraction marching in the main gate of the castle, because there are quite a few people looking at these strangers going, "Oh, who are those two?" And as the two of you enter the castle, you notice a couple of things. Firstly, Castle Quent is a very, very impressive fortification. Clearly a place that has been not like a palace where one would relax. It is a fortification of war. This is a place that has been through sieges. There are the bird ruins of towers. There are curtain walls. There are all manner of defenses. You're walking through murder holes and so forth. That said, as you walk in, the various guards have garlands of slightly wilted flowers around their helmets. In the courtyard, there is this half disassembled stage and lots of sort of stacked tables. There's one sort of sweeping away what you assume the remains of a not even a face, but you're cleaning up after some large event. And as you're going in, this really big, mean-looking, grimdark-esque guy in armor comes over and frowns at you. Said the back entrance. Come on,
sorry,
Gareth.
what?
I said the back. We said the back entrance. Come on, this way.
Is this not the back entrance?
Giant fucking gate right there. No, it's the back entrance.
I'm sorry, the instructions weren't clear. Does it matter? We're here now.
I saw you or not. Oh, well.
Just
Hope
go.
no one took much notice of you.
Sorry, say again?
Hopefully no one took much notice of you.
Well, no more than usual.
Just so fabulous.
Come on,
I
come
came
on.
in the back entrance, by the way. I definitely came in the back entrance. I did not walk through the front entrance. Definitely not. No, obviously not. No. I don't even know who he is. Where did you come from, big wizard person? This is shocking for me. It really is.
Off the courtyard, Bane's sense of lie detection goes ding 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 ding. Right. Anyway, the big guy who introduces himself as Hargle escorts the two of you to a tower at the back of the castle. And once the other two have hidden the wagon, you go in through a sort of postern gate out of sight and find yourselves near the same tower. And a servant escorts you up. So all four of you converge on this tower at the back of the castle. And waiting there is a younger man dressed in expensive-ish clothing, looks a little bit nervous, and introduces himself as I'm Brisbane Quent. I'm Lord Brisbane Quent. Yes, please, thank you for coming. Sorry for the please, drinks.
Absolutely. Wine, please.
Hargle, would you? I get a butler. So.
Bunny's just wandering around the room, just idly tapping the stonework with the blade of her axe, just muttering to herself, "Well made, well made." Being a dwarf, she's obviously, architecture and stuff like that, and mining. She's all up on that.
Give me a wisdom test there, please.
Oh, okay. Damn.
And if you want to come add a background at this point, it might be of something architecturally. Feel free.
7.
Do you want to add that background on?
No, I mean she could literally, she's literally just trying to appear smarter than she is.
Okay.
So the wall could collapse, and she'd be like, "Yeah, I knew it was going to do that."
Fair enough. You tap the walls in a knowledgeable dwarven fashion and confirm they are in fact walls. You're nearly positive they're stone walls.
Yes.
a somewhat more conventional and less heavily armored servant comes in with a bottle of wine. It's the last of the wedding feast, sir, or wedding supply. He says quench before popping it open and serving you each glass.
A wedding. Who was married?
I was.
Congratulations. A toast to your good health.
I was trying to drink that. He says, his hands shakes. He picks up the glass and. Now, you're probably wondering why I've called you here, without knowing who you are. Precisely, well, I know your general type. I'm in need of doughty adventurers, so to speak. I was wondering, seeing as you are armed and not from around here, which are two qualities I happen to have need of, if you would mind doing a small errand for me, very, very simple one. Please say
yes. Depends what it is.
Errand is fine. Just is there a bit of a
of course
for our time and our efforts?
Yes.
Is there a chance for fame and glory?
Is there cash? Fame? Doesn't pay the bills.
That's the thing. No. Well, deferred fame and indirect long-term glory, perhaps. You see, it's a little. I recently, as in very recently, as in last week, married Margot Hale, the daughter of a neighbouring barony with whom my family has had disagreements in the past. And this is a wonderful thing, peace, and she's lovely and very wealthy, and it's all going. It's all gone. It's all fine. All's fine. But there's a slight, entirely unconnected issue with my great grandfather, or my grandfather's tomb, to be precise, sort of his barrow. And we wouldn't want anyone to get the wrong idea, you see. How to put this?
I'll stop you there, Baron. Let me say, we've got a wizard with us who knows about all these problems between married couples. Like nerves. It can absolutely, I'm sure, with a potion, help you out. It's not a problem.
Oh, it's not that. My great grandfather, there have been strange lights and omens and portents, and people talked about ghosts in his barrow.
Are you telling us your great grandfather's barrow is haunted?
Yes, but it just recently started being haunted. And my wife, Jane Margot, is very worried that this might be that certain people might connect this to the wedding and to the marriage, and that there would be not disapproval, but revolt or problems, dissent.
So you think it might be an omen against your marriage because your great-grandfather is rising from the grave to complain that you've married the descendants of his mortal enemies?
I'm worried that people might think that.
Right.
So
I
did you just kill the
understand.
mortal enemy and get done with it? Did you
Sorry?
just kill the mortal enemy and be done with
Well,
it?
I married her. And my great grandfather tried to kill them, and his son tried to kill them, and my father tried to kill them.
Okay.
All been very, very bloody and costly and horrible. And she's lovely, and I'm not.
Well, I'm glad she's lovely. That's good. That's very helpful.
And her bodyguard is very useful, and
Is that the large grunting thing?
Cardinal, yes, he's lovely. He came with her, so to speak. I don't know part of the story, but he just like he moved in. I didn't know that was going to happen, but I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine. So,
Do you want me to fight him?
Do
you want me to fight him?
To fight him? No.
I don't mind.
Wait, which him?
Bad.
I don't want
From the name.
I don't want you to fight the bodyguard. I want you to go and I'm sure.
Look, I don't know what else is going on. Okay, I don't understand any of this.
Honey, it's fine.
Minutes.
Honey, don't worry. When we know what's happening, we'll point you at something you can hit.
Okay.
Basically, I'm sure it is just some I don't know, swamp gas or a wandering necromancer or a pack of ghouls creeping out of the wilderness to feast on the bones of the long dead. I would just like it to stop before anyone notices that my great-grandfather's barrow is glowing blue and having weird things. So Hargo thought that we could get some adventurers in to go and take a look.
All right.
You want us to kill a ghost?
If there's a ghost there, I would like to not. Well, I just wanted to stop. Please.
Okay.
I can make.
And I mean, first of all, it's not really an errand, is it? I mean, let's be honest. It's substantially more of a quest, really. I think we have to describe that as first of all.
It is like not quite just down the road, but not that far. I mean, I feel it for a quest, it requires a certain epic journey as opposed to down the road.
Well, just errands are nipping to market for a bag of potatoes. I feel clearing a barrow of a haunting to save your marriage and peace in your country is a little bit more than an errand, surely.
Out of idle curiosity and having nothing to do with the fact that we won't be getting any fame or glory from this, are there any riches in this barrow?
There are.
Ah.
Oh, we're going there. That's great. No, it's fine. You've sold me on it. It's us all over.
Brilliant idea.
They are my great grandfather's grave goods, and
we won't touch those. Definitely not. They're sacrosanct and safe. Don't you worry.
Exactly. We'll recompense you for your deeds, but I don't think you should remove anything from the barrow. I think that's bad luck.
Will you write a song?
Curiosity again. Just if we break something, do people check often for the contents of the barrow?
No, it's been sealed since he was buried there.
Okay.
Sorry. the little dwarf person was talking.
Wow. I said, write a song about us.
Well, I'm sure I have minstrels. I just a wedding. Minstrels come out my ears. They could write a song, but it would have to be push away for 20 years or so. Things are less fraught. See that
Could I have the song?
Yes, a song be written as long as it does not mention my great grandfather or the marriage or the.
It will mention me.
Yes.
Okay.
She wants a song about her, just her.
That I can do. I said the band do sort of specialize in cover versions mostly, but.
They know Freebird.
Is there any chance that your great grandfather's barrow would contain any, ancient texts or unusual scrolls?
To be honest, from what I understand of him, he was not the most erudite of individuals.
Right.
I suppose it's possible.
When he pokes Steve in the thigh and says, "Ever what?"
He was a dumbass.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he was a great man. He built this castle and started the wars, and everyone's very fond of him. But when we build statues of him, he's generally on a horse carrying a sword as opposed to reading a book.
Right.
Can I get a statue? Can I get a statue?
You'd only need half the metal to make it. That's a good thing.
Well,
the
we're
money
not friends anymore.
A portable statue.
Are we friends?
And you can take with you everywhere you go.
Yeah, how about a little statue? And you could carry it around with you.
You can
Or
have
snow
an
globe.
Yeah, yeah. A song and a statue. That's what I want.
Oh, I'm certain we can do something. Something will be arranged.
Okay.
The song is easy. The statue possibly more time consuming. But the important thing, for like, I'm sorry. Yes, but my grandfather is not more of the swords waving type person. I'm sort of like the exception in the family. Everyone else is a bit more swords wavy, and
I'm shocked.
Right.
that's why my father got killed on the battlefield. He was waving his sword and arrow. Anyway, that's why. Where was I? Yes. So the important thing is we keep this discreet and quiet, and because you're strangers to this land and not connected to either the Quents or the Hales, or the long bloody war between us two families. Then you can do this little querend. We'll call it a querend, shall we? Half quest, half errand.
Querend is.
I like it.
The rate of pay will be higher for a querend than it would be for an errand, but not quite as high. So it's just level of pay. I'm happy with querend over errand. It's a bit more.
Indeed.
I mean, I'd settle for substantial favor, really. I mean, that would be preferable.
I'm sure things can be arranged, but I would like it done soon. Yes.
Okay.
So
We will take on the querend, surely. This querend has us written all over it. If anyone can querend, we four can querend.
Experts at it, some might say.
We are the querenders par excellence of
Yeah.
querending.
marvelous. Oh, that's such a weight off my mind. Now, food. I promise you food. And Hargle, the giant armored bodyguard, opens the door, and servants come in, bearing quite a nice meal. There's quite a lot of cold meats and so forth, and the dessert is clearly week-old wedding cake.
Yeah.
But at least the wine flows moderately freely.
As long as it's wine, it's all fine.
Where is your wife then?
Oh, she's here in the capital. I should introduce
Have
you.
you
But
killed her? Have you killed her?
no. Don't say such things. Put your bodyguard there. Very violent.
So where is she?
Come. I'll introduce you.
Okay. Too much testosterone in this room.
Yeah. Cool. So leaving the three of you to dine on old wedding cake and wine.
Is there a library in this castle?
A very, very modest one, but yes, and I'm hoping to expand it. So if you have suggestions and a reading list, a TBR list, perhaps.
Nice plug. I like it. I'm curious to peruse what you have,
Yep.
meager though it might be.
Well, I assume, given the hour, you'll be leaving until on the querend until tomorrow, so you have time to check it out.
Lovely.
So yeah, he'll show you to the library on the way. Do either of you two have any side quests you want to pick up in this castle?
No one, I'm really good. I've got drinking week-old wedding cake. It's a party.
This is the best I've been treated in ages. I'm having the wine and the
And I'm
cake.
not saying that there's a coincidence, but Jeff is rattling and there's an awful lot of silverware that's going missing.
But 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So, Justin, you are shown up to, as he said, the relatively small library. There are histories of the family, genealogies, maps of the area, the battles of the Quents against the Hales, volumes 1 to 10.
Right.
There are a couple of arcane texts, but at a quick glance, nothing you would be especially impressed by. Are you looking for anything particular, or are you just randomly browsing?
The arcane text was my primary thought, but it occurs to me also it might be useful to know anything about his great-grandfather as to whether he might actually have been some kind of necromancer or lich or something.
Do give me a intelligence roll there, please, and if you have any sort of a suitable background to be a bonus, you can, or you can not do it as you prefer.
No, I'll go straight with my modifier. I think that's
Okay.
fine. Oh, yeah, never mind. Even with the modifier, I rolled 8.
Right.
They're books.
There are some books. The end.
Immediately
That was pretty.
against a major barrier. They're written in a language you don't speak.
Wow.
Nice.
I mean, that's fair. Oh, well.
Yes. However, you can look at the pictures.
Right.
The pictures show, I'll note, there's an illustration of.
Is it in crayon?
They're lovely woodcuts. There's a picture of Baron Uther Quent, the ancestor, looking very, very stern, giant sword, heavy armor, field battle before him. There is another of it's depicting some sort of scene where he's arguing with someone, as far as I can tell. The other guy is dressed in what you guess are robes. You can't tell if they're religious or clerical. And the argument appears to end when Uther chops the other guy's finger off. Basically, the other guy is like, you're accusing him, going like, yo, something, and he just goes,
Ow.
yeah. That clearly that picture is done over several pages in each little flip book or
It's like
something.
a book. Yeah, okay.
That was
And-
classic.
Flip book animated.
Exactly. Right. Anna Bunny is escorted upstairs by the talkative and nervous Baron Brisimus. Up to the main castle, which is considerably more luxurious than the little tower where you guys were wined and dined. And you notice that Hargul, the giant armored bodyguard, follows you guys up. There's a heavy tread behind you as you climb the spiral staircase. And you're shown to one room where there is a woman dressed in a fine red dress. And she's bending over a table with a map and consultation with some clerk or advisor of some sort. And when you enter, she looks up to her friends and goes, my love, who is this? Oh, it's one of the adventurers who is going to deal with that little problem that Hargul spoke of. Ah, right. That's lovely.
Hi. What are you looking at? She sort of trundles over and puts her chin on the table to look at the map.
It is a map of the area between, obviously, of the surrounding area where you've got basically the Quents on one side, the hills on the other, forest in between, surrounding lands, basically the route you'll be taking. And as you're looking, the clerk starts to roll up, but you get your chin under it at times, so you try to tug it out under your chin.
So where are we?
Margot folds that out again. We're here. This is my new home, Castle Quent.
And where's this place we're going to?
Would you mind?
Is it on the picture?
She gestures to the servant to step out. He frowns at you and stalks off. Hargul shuts the door behind him. Barrels down here, says Hargul. You introduce yourself as Argyle. Anyway, points it here basically at these illustration of several like lines of barrows a bit to the south of the castle.
Okay, cool. How long is it going to take to get there?
Half a day.
Is that walking or on horses? You have ponies, by the way. I'm asking for the halfling. You what, sorry?
Halfling can ride with me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he can definitely ride with you. That's fine.
Oh yeah, no one can understand me in this helmet. Right, that's better.
So, yeah, lady, your husband's a very nervous man, very nervous. So I just wanted to make sure that you were safe. So, and she sort of looks around and goes, "Just wink if you're not safe." But she says it so loudly that everybody hears her anyway.
Behind you, Hargles sort of goes, and Lady Hale goes, "No, I'm perfectly safe. This is a blissful union of the two houses, and I'm sure it will resound to the benefit of all. I'm quite confident of my safety here as long as this little problem in the barrow can be resolved quietly."
I'm really good at quiet.
And I would not want either to delay you on your mission east to my family's castles, my family's castle with your delivery. I understand you're carrying some. No, okay then. Anyway, I will escort you back down to the tower where you can have some privacy and more wine.
Okay.
What?
Can we take the picture? Are we going to need it to get to the place?
I know where it is, says Hargle.
But aren't you supposed to be looking after her? Why are you coming with us?
Make sure you get there.
But if we have the picture, we can get ourselves there. We've got a cart and everything. It's got, we can leave the boxes with you. Just make everything.
Hargle sort of glances at Lady Hale and she nods. Actually, yeah, good point. Yeah, hands you. Bring it back, right? It's a good map.
Sure, will do. Bye.
Cool. So you scurry back down to the tower.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Is anyone doing anything else tonight?
Drinking wine and sleeping.
While sleeping.
Just going to show everyone the map.
You have a map of the surrounding area. As I said, there are the two baronies, forest in between, and the barrows are indeed marked, and you can tell which barrow is which. Like inscriptions like here lieth Uther the first. Here lieth his son, also died in battle. Here lieth his son, also died in battle. Here lieth his son, died in battle without issue. Here is the sister.
They were very bad at battle. Like they were really bad at it.
Brackets, different battles. Close brackets. Right. There are sleeping quarters there in the tower, and you can see out from all the windows overlooks the wagon car park where you stowed your wagon. I'm sure there's a visual
Park and ride.
The view is fantastic. Beautiful.
This is what editing is for. Anyway, can I get a wisdom test of, we'll just say Jeff, given Jeff has not had spotted time in a few minutes. Give me a wisdom test there.
Oh, I've got 9.
Do you have conveniently any backgrounds that would help?
My background is going to be as a merchant, so I would go with shrewd as a background.
Yeah, cool. You sleep lightly. And you're woken in the night by the sounds of an argument. You want to try and creep out and eavesdrop?
Of course I do. It goes without saying. It does go without saying in my case, but yes, of course I do.
The argument seems to be between Bersimus and another young man who looks quite like him. The young man who looks quite like him has some guards with him in House Quent livery. And you see they're arguing. It's not the main court, it's the side yard that is near your tower. The younger fellow, who guesses probably Bruce's brother or something, points up at the tower where you guys have been stashed, and basically like, what are you up to? This is another one of your wife's ploys. And Bruce Smith, as you experience, gives a sort of confident and forthright answer of do you want to do anything, or are you just going to let the scene play out like a cutscene?
I think I'm just going to watch. I don't want to be involved in any of this particularly.
Cool.
But knowledge is power.
Yeah. Bruce continues to wiggle, and younger guy turns and walks off with his guards in tow. Can I have an intelligence test, please, there?
From all of us? Or
Just from the wakeful halfling.
A 9.
Cool. Significant things happen, but you're unaware of them.
That's his life. That's literally about him.
Right.
It doesn't involve money, so he doesn't care.
Exactly.
Nobody involved in this. I didn't see a coin change hands. It's point.
Exactly. Economically irrelevant stuff happens. Right. Next morning, you are woken by the dulcet tones of Argle. Argle. Get up, man. First light and all that. Let's move.
Okay.
Roll out of bed.
Out of bed.
I'm already up.
It's all the weapons.
Cool.
Door.
I presume we'll be fed before we're expected to go anywhere, obviously.
Yeah, in comparison to the quite nice meal last night, this is a bit more meager, but you get your standard current supplies.
Okay.
Wedding cake.
Exactly.
Wine.
Fried wedding cake for breakfast.
Like lembas, but with fruit in it.
Yeah. And doubles as a weapon if it really needs to.
So, right. Hargle does accompany you a small bit of the way south, just to put you on the right path, but it's clear that he's very, very glad to not go all the way. He mutters that his ancestors put a lot of these people in the barrows in the first place, so honestly, kind of glad to let you guys go on your own for the last bit. You travel south from the castle through. Are you taking your wagon, or are you leaving it stashed there by the castle? If you take your wagon, it'll take you a bit longer to get there because it goes more slowly than you guys on horses on your own.
I feel that we should take it with us.
You'll be arriving at the barrows closer to nightfall. You're arriving at the spooky haunted barrow closer to nightfall. Or you leave the wagon with the valuable cargo there behind unprotected. So,
but I think we have to take it with us. That was literally the first job before we got given this job.
It was.
We don't do that job.
That's not going to go anywhere. Let's not burden ourselves with extra weight and get there later than we need to.
There is
It's not so much the burden of the extra weight; it's the burden of what happens if it goes and
Yeah,
not we get back. And the burden might be lighter because I'll have no head left on my shoulders.
Yeah,
I don't have a high.
Would be happy.
I don't have a high level of care about what happens to the cart, really.
So the wagon's going with us.
Okay, so take it away.
Then he says take the cart.
yeah. So you head down the road, completely the road, through the town of Utwick, and then down a much rougher and less traveled road, mainly used for funeral processions, down toward the barrows. Off to your left, if you had a tour guide with you, which you don't, but you have a map, is the Caldlaw Woods, which are the woods between the two baronies. And then through atmospheric mist and spooky music and fog rising from the Barrow Downs, you see the barrows of the Quent people. Hargle at this point has turned back towards Uthwick. But he's said basically, you go and you find the biggest barrel there. It's hard to miss. Go in there. Also, it may be glowing blue. Hopefully it's not, but just in case it might be.
Helpful.
And yeah, you after a couple of instances where you get out and push the cart along. Actually, can I get a strength check from everyone there? And just don't roll ones.
11.
Not a 1, but it's 1.
Natural 1.
I love you.
18.
The first crit fail of the night.
So at one point, as you're going down towards the barrows, the ground here is damp and muddy and sticky, and you get the heavily loaded wagon sinks into the mud, and you're pushing along. And fortunately, Bunny is pretty mighty, but a pretty high strength, don't you?
I'm actually like super strong.
Yeah,
normally.
Yeah, you're
The mud is really sticky and it's kind of slowing me down. And
well, I mean, what happens is you succeed too well. You give the wagon a huge shove, and it goes flying forward, and one of the crates tumbles off, and there's a loud crack.
whoops.
And heading round to the front, the crate is now lying on the ground, open. The straw has spilled everywhere, and in the middle of the straw is an egg.
Ooh.
An egg?
Yep.
What kind of egg?
A big egg.
Quail's egg?
No, we're talking more sort of like, giant Komodo dragon egg, overgrown ostrich egg.
Is this code for dragon egg? Are you telling us this is a dragon egg?
I mean, you probably know a dragon egg. Give me an intelligence roll there.
Or a hearty breakfast?
Oh, actually,
16.
You see, also, Ranger Bane, with your connection to the 3, you've known dragon eggs of old. And that is not a dragon egg. It is, however, something you've encountered in the past. The alchemists of the Blue Dragon have all sorts of weird alchemical things, and one thing they can do is basically take a wyvern egg or something and inject it with all sorts of horrible chemical things and make it a bomb, basically, would be the way you would put it.
A big egg bomb.
A big egg bomb, indeed.
That doesn't seem like something we want to drop.
Should Bunny put it down? Because she's currently like wandering around, like sort of
put it down.
wiping the mud off it and apologising to it.
Please put it down. Please.
On the straw, gently.
Yeah, just very softly.
I'm super gentle. It's fine.
Do you want to give me a dex check there to show how gentle you are?
I knew you were going to say 15.
Oh,
As soft and gentle as a bunny. Basically, I said bomb, not necessarily explosive fire, could also be full of horrible pestilent miasmas and so forth.
Oh, well, that's much better.
Yeah, well, they leak more, but yeah. Anyway,
let's not touch that again.
Yeah, okay. You're pretty sure the egg merely fell and didn't crack open. You're 95% sure that the crack was the chest falling and breaking open and not the egg cracking, because, for one thing, none of you are dead yet. Do you want to stop and examine the egg or press on towards the barrows?
I think we should repack the egg back in its box.
That's yeah. I think you should repack the egg back in its box.
I think I should repack the egg back in its box.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think you should.
I can't work out whether we're arming the Hales or about to blow them up and kill them all. I don't know, but it's an order. We'll do it. That's the way it works. When you get paid for a job, you get paid for the job. Death or no death. So yes, I will repack the egg.
You repack the egg as you can. I mean, a little breakage along the way is, they have to take that little shrinkage.
I'm sure we have moving insurance.
Indeed. While Scramish is repacking the eggs, or the egg singular, what are the rest of you doing? You're just going to stand there guard? You're going to look around the barrels?
Taking a big step back from Scramish and packing the egg.
Watching him relatively carefully and looking for cover in the trees.
Yeah.
No trees, just barrels. You'll have them in a barrow.
Limbering up for a run.
Examining the nearest barrow out of sheer curiosity and not to see whether I can hide behind it.
Yeah, you're trying to read the runes, here lieth, Francis Quent. His gravestone was erected by, Balin the dwarf. It will give you +5 armor class if you hide behind it. But no, you repack the egg as successfully as you think, or as solid as you can. And by the time you've done that, night has thoroughly fallen over the barrows. And you can indeed see in the distance a slight bluish glow emanating from the side of one of the barrows.
Wow.
Should we head towards the light?
Helpful.
Are you going to leave the wagon here or bring it up to the glowy barrow?
It occurs to me that in a pinch, we might want a bomb. We should probably take it now. I'm quite glad we brought it. Well done. Good decision, boys.
Thank you.
And girl, I forgot you were for bringing it as well, weren't you, Bunny?
Yes. Thank you.
Good decision, everybody.
Right. So, are you going to take the wagon or just that one egg?
The wagon.
How many parcel boxes are there on the wagon?
That's an excellent question.
If there's like 75 eggs, then
The dice tell me there are 8.
8. We should probably take the wagon, I guess, and not just the one box.
Okay.
Yeah. Sensible.
If there's going to be an explosion, let's make it a big one.
Yeah, exactly. That's
You keep all your eggs in your one basket.
Yes.
yeah.
This is
Especially when they're explosive. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So you push the wagon up through the barrows, and as you're pushing the largest barrow, you can see that basically it's a big mound of earth, and there's basically a stone, a burial stone on one side, which basically marks here lieth Uther Quent. He was really great. He killed lots of people. And side of that, there is a recently dug hole in the side of it, or there's a tunnel into the barrow, into the inner mound. It's wide enough.
We should investigate.
Yeah, it's wide enough for one person, although given half of you are tiny, and actually all either tiny or lithe or both. So there'll be no issue with squeezing in and out. What's the plan? Who wants to go first, or do you have an examine thing?
Unslings her axe.
Okay.
I'll be back in a minute, and she just marches towards the tunnel.
I feel like it might be wise to take an egg with us.
There is an audible groan.
You go. Okay, so Bunny's marching up to the tunnel. You're unpacking an egg.
Let's just take one with us. Just in case.
Are you taking the one that fell down, or are you opening one of the other boxes?
Let's take one that we know hasn't just cracked. Like absolutely 100% hasn't just cracked.
Okay, so different egg.
Yeah, let's take a different egg.
Okay, cool. Are the two of you going to let your wizard traveling companion grab an egg out, or?
I think I'm just going to have to hold. I'm looking in both directions. Our favourite dwarf has now wandered off into a barrow with an axe. Our favourite wizard is now unpacking a death egg over there. And I'm just caught between the two. If you could just stop but if you could put that down, back. No, if you could just, I can't cope.
Excellent. The Brisbane style of management.
Part of me is just kind of curious to see what happens next. There's a lot happening all at once, and I'm like, something's going to happen, and I want to be here to see it.
So you stay outside?
Yeah, I think Bonnie's run off by herself at the moment with no fear of anything.
Right. Bonnie!
It's only a ghost. I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Can we close the tunnel, and just leave it there?
Should be able to do it quite easily. You march down the little tunnel. It's not like that long, but basically the mound is hollow on the inside. It's just like a sort of like a crack in the outer earthen shell. And find yourself in a little tunnel, tunnel in the mound into the burial chambers. Where am I? Oh, just chance. Right. It's all very weird and spooky in here. Blue light emanating from nowhere. Creepy mist, the smell of earth and death. It looks like there's basically an outer chamber and an inner chamber. Mm-hmm. Also some side chambers off the outer chamber. So clearly, like the main grave at far and beyond the doorway. Chamber you're entering to now, and you can see archways off to the side.
Okay.
Things you notice immediately. There's recently added stuff, as in not glowing blue and not covered in the dust of memorial ages near the door. It looks like a religious paraphernalia. You don't have time to examine it right now. There are lots of skeletons around, like bones scattered on the floor, and there are two more intact skeletons on Beer's platform slab things. Word you write a lot, but very rarely say. Next, flanking the doorway, and as you enter, they start to twitch.
Ooh. Okay. So Bunny isn't like the sharpest axe in the armory, but she kind of turns back towards the exit.
Okay.
And she just sort of yells, "There's a load of boxes of stuff in here." Because she's been traveling with Bane and Scramish for a while now.
Yep.
And she knows how best to draw their attention. And then she, so these two skeletons are like equidistant from where she is.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's, and they're just skeletons.
The two on the beer. Is it beer or buyer?
Beer, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Yeah. So we've got two beers. They're basically
spell it.
They're flanking the doorways. They're equidistant from you, and they're intact skeletons. And then the floor, there are lots of basically skeleton bits.
Right. Okay. So basically, okay. So she's going to go over to the one on the right.
Right. Yeah.
And she's just going to take its head off and chuck it across the room.
At this point, we're rolling for initiative.
I thought we might be.
Initiative. Everyone has an initiative modifier on their sheet there. It's basically your dexterity modifier. If you can't find it, let me know. Right, and it's D20 plus that.
19.
who's that? 19 for
19. Me.
So that's 19 for Justin. 18 was it for Anna?
Yeah.
Cool.
21.
21 for Steve.
Right, 18.
That went well.
Everyone outside the room can react instantly.
We react instantly to things we can't see. Like a premonition.
Right. So, yeah, that fits. Right. Right. So, Buddy, as you're crossing the chamber floor to pluck the head off one of the intact skeletons, it comes to bony hands from the bones on the floor. Reach out and start trying to grab you. There are 3 of them going to attack you.
Oh, shit.
Right. Ooh. What's your armor class there?
16.
16. Right. 2 of them hit you. 1 of them get a critical.
Damn.
So, unfortunately, they are only little hand bone things. They're only doing 6 damage to you total.
How much?
6.
Okay.
But they are clinging onto you. So as you're heading across the room, basically there are more and more skeletal hands and bits of skeletons and like skulls with teeth clinging onto it, so you're being dragged down. And for each one grabbing onto you, it drops your armor class by 1. There are 2 hanging onto you.
Oh my god.
Right. Actually, firstly, guys outside, you hear Buddy going, there are boxes in here. What are you doing?
I run in.
So you're running in.
I like boxes.
You will.
Boxes and stuff.
Everyone's got a thing they like. Yours is boxes. It's fun.
Boxes me stuff.
Well, the stuff in the boxes, not just the boxes.
Do you want to? You can run to the entrance to the tunnel entrance and look down and see Buddy being attacked with the skeletons.
Yeah.
And you can either make a ranged attack from there, or you can spend your attack on moving in and charging in all the way.
I will make a range attack from the entrance.
Okay. Give me a roll. And are you aiming for the...
Do not shoot me.
I'm not aiming for you. I'm aiming for the skeletons got hold of you.
Excellent.
I'm
Cool.
a very good shot. Probably.
This is where he rolls a shoots me in the
16.
ass.
13, is it?
16.
16. That is a hit.
Woohoo.
See?
Roll damage.
Nothing to worry about.
Roll damage.
Damage is... Oh, blimey.
Yeah.
9. 12.
12. Wow. Right. That smashes one of them completely. One of the ones on you. And the other guy is basically hanging on by literally hanging on by a fingernail. These guys are what are called mooks in 13th age. If you hit one, the damage, they're basically treated as a big mob of small bad guys. So if you hit one, the damage will transfer over to the next guy, the next guy, the next guy. So you can kill lots of them with one blow.
Ah, nice.
Right. Justin, are you intend to grab the egg, or are you going to run over to the entrance?
It seems like I should probably abandon the egg for now and pay attention to what's happening. So I'll leave the egg, and I'll leave the egg and make haste to the barrow.
It is only one turn to grab the egg if you want to linger there. Sure.
It would be churlish to pay attention to the egg when one of my companions is in danger.
It's not that much danger, but okay, cool. Are you going to run all the way there, or are you going to stop at the entrance to the barrow and do range attacks as Steve did?
I'm gonna go into the entrance as far as I can go along to see clearly what's happening. I like to be able to see what I'm doing.
Okay, fair enough. So you're going to basically run up but hang a little bit back. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So basically, you won't attack this turn, but you're range to anything you want next round. And Gior, what do you think?
I'm going to run in. I'm going to use my swashbuckle, which I can do once for that, because I've got 2 tall people in the way.
Radio, you can get with the
So
swashbuckle.
I'm going to slide through Steve's legs,
Awesome.
Nice.
through Bane's legs,
Awesome.
pick up my feet, 2 more steps, jump onto the wall, do 2 steps of wall running past our wizard,
Radio.
land and slide on my knees with my bow drawn, ready to take one out.
Oh, yeah.
I will call it the swashbuckle. You can make an attack right away.
Watch and roll of 1.
I feel like this should be like a guitar at the end there, as you come out on your knees with the guitar and just nail it with a big power chord. This is right.
I reckon it's rolled like a
What did you
3.
get there, Squamish?
Did you roll a 1? So instead of sliding through Steve's legs, you basically
Just hit me in
tackled
the
him.
nuts, haven't you?
Oh my god, are you just going to headbutt him in the nuts instead?
Yeah. Good job. Well done. Real proud of you. It's a good moment.
What's your character's name again? Not Scroobius. Skirmish. Scrambles through Bane's legs, leaps over the elf wizard, does a whole Matrix-style wall-running thing, lands, draws bow. Unfortunately, remember the 2 guys lying on the beer buyer flat thing? Yeah. They have a tough skeleton, and they're very, very slow. And had you had more time to do a close examination, you see that both of them have these giant ceremonial executioner's swords lying next to them. And they're slowly getting up and going to do this dramatic thing where they draw their swords and go to attack. You land on top of one of their swords. So as the big skeleton rises the sleep of ages and draws his weapon, he grabs your ankle.
That could have been worse.
I know he's my companion, but am I allowed to laugh? That's quite funny.
So you have been grappled inadvertently by one of these skeleton guys. And up and down as he rises.
I'm going to be beaten to death by the halfling.
Yes.
Yep.
Didn't we predict this in the chat before? Wasn't there talk of this happening?
Yes, use him as a club.
So, of the 2 big skeletons, one stumbles towards Anna the intruder. Oh yeah, Anna, you haven't had a turn yet.
I have not.
No, so the big skeletons, 2 big skeletons are now basically slowly dragging themselves off their tombs and advancing towards you. One is dragging this sword along the ground at this really dramatic scene where you have the blade scraping on the stone, leaving this shower of sparks behind it.
Nice.
And it's awesome, and it's metal. And the other guys do exactly the same, only it's death.
She's getting like the mild contusions on his head. Okay. Am I still grappled by the bones?
No, because Jeff shot one off and Steve shot one off. So you have been freed from the 2 guys who were grappling you because that Jeff's house.
Right.
Shot off.
Okay. In that case, is one of the skeletons closer than the other?
They are being irritatingly symmetrical.
Okay. In that case, I am going to make a melee attack with my great axe. And I am going to attempt to take off the arm of the skeleton that is holding Scramish.
Radio. Give me a roll.
Am I adding strength to this?
It should be, the attack should be pre-calculated for you. 1 second. Yeah, it's already got strength figured in, so basically it's +6.
17.
Yeah, that is it's a miss by 1. So you do get to your miss damage, so you do hit him for 2 points damage.
Okay.
So you hurt, just not, especially. So basically, you go to hew off his arm. He tries to parry. You go, ah! And do not cleave the halfling in two. Right. They now get to attack. One of them is going to attack Bunny with a sword, and the other guy is going to try to attack Bunny with a halfling and do damage to the halfling.
It's a big day for skirmish, isn't it?
Sword misses quite badly. These guys have really low attack bonuses because their plan is basically to have the smaller guys grab onto you and lower your armor class. And
Right.
so basically, if you get lots of small guys on you, they have a much better chance of hitting. The other guy,
I think a foundling is or halfling is a weapon of renown or legend, is it?
Yeah. The other guy lifts you up and punches you in the face, which is a much better chance of hitting you with, but does less damage. 22 to hit your armor class.
Mine.
15.
No, Jeff's. Yeah, so Jeff takes 7 damage. Right. Next round. 13th Age has a mechanic called the escalation die, where basically fights, you get bonuses to fight. As fights go on longer, you get bonuses to attack. So basically the monsters are all calibrated so that initially they're hard to hit, and then as the fight goes on, they're easier and easier to hit, which sort of encourages you to keep your big dramatic spells and so forth later in the fight. So you now have, because this escalation dice is the top 1 in the second round of combat, you guys all have top 1 to all your attacks. So, Steve, current situation is Bunny is in the middle of the chamber with 2 skeletons, one of which is attempting to hit her with a giant sword. The other guy has a halfling instead of a sword and is looking confused by the whole affair. And the ground around you are rising a whole host of smaller, weaker skeletons. So, what do you want to do?
Okay. Can I do a double ranged attack?
I think you can. Where are we? Well, actually, firstly, you're going to roll your Elven Grace to see if you get extra action. So roll d6.
I got a 17.
D6. 6 out of 10.
D6, sorry. Yeah.
You rolled a 17 on that, then well done. But
I got a 4.
okay, you don't get a bonus action, so you can do your double range attack if you wish.
Yeah, I'm going to do a double range attack then. So, blimey. I got a rolled a 19 there, so 20, 25.
Okay, that's on your first attack, and your second one?
I got a 17.
They are both hitting whoever you're shooting at. Who are you shooting at?
I'm going to shoot at the thing that has hold of Screamish.
Okay,
both supposed to let go of him.
Both of them, or just one?
One at him and one at the one that Anna's fighting.
Okay, cool. So roll damage for both of them.
So I did 8 to the one holding Screamish.
Okay. And the guy?
And to the other guy, I did 14.
Jesus Christ. Right. Nice. Describe how your arrow does 14 damage to him.
Sorry?
Describe how the arrow does 14 damage to the skeleton with the awesome metal sword dragging on with the shower of spark. He's really cool.
It hits the thing dead center, and it just explodes in a shower of awesomeness. And I just sit there and go, yes. And then I say, you owe me. I feel superior about my skills.
Yeah. Right. Justin, you're next.
So there's still a skeleton trying to hit Anna, is that right?
There are still, even with that heroic attack from Steve, there are still 2 skeletons attacking Anna.
Right. Okay.
But still.
Okay. So I think the easiest thing is probably to go for something like Magic Missile on the basis that it's going to hit them.
Always a choice.
Which one is which of my colours is in the most imminent danger, I suppose, is the question.
I mean, your best option might be blasting away at the one holding the halfling just to free up the halfling.
Fair enough, I'll do that. That's a good shout. Yeah, let's do that.
That's
okay.
2d4 each.
2d4. So that is 5.
Respectable. Right. Next are the host of smaller skeletons, of which there are 10 now clawing out of the ground.
Oh dear.
All around you guys. And there are 4 of you, so that'll be 2 each. And 2 more to be deposited. Yes, that's there. Right, so, Anna, the 2 on you. What's your armor class?
It's now 14.
No, because it's back up to 16 because they're knocked down. So there's 1 on you now. So 2 damage. Yeah, 2 damage and 1 on you. I'll keep track of how many skeletons are on people.
So I'm now at 12.
No, you're now at 14. There were 2 on you. They got smashed off. Now there's a fresh 1 on you going, I'm contributing.
Oh, right. So my armor class goes back up and then drops. Okay. Got it.
Your armor penalty is proportional to the number of tiny skeletons clinging to you. Steve, what's your armor class?
17.
Something I can add, and they both hit. Go them. So yeah, that's 4 damage, and 2 skeletons are now clinging to you.
Oh.
Justin. That's one skeleton on you. That's 2 damage, and 1 skeleton is attaching itself to you, slowing you down. Jeff. Actually, leave Jeff alone, given he's already being hung up on the floor. I can just have 1 more on each of you guys. So 1 more on Anna misses.
That's only fair.
1 more on Steve hits, and 1 more on Steve. The 3rd one on you, another 2 damage.
Oh, I am popular.
Exactly. So a wave of the dead.
Are these the skeletons that all take damage if one of them takes damage? I like that. Okay, good.
As one of them grabs onto you, Justin, you see that he is wearing ragged remains of armor, and there's the sigil of the Hale family on the armor. So you guess that these guys on the floor were like the defeated remains of guys that Uther killed and were then buried with him.
Ah, how very vainglorious of him to bury his enemies with him. Dearie me.
Right. Jeff, you are currently
Dangling.
held by the ankle, but that does not impede you in terms of fighting.
In that case,
it impedes in terms of moving. So first question is, do you want to try and pop free of the guy?
no, I just want to stab him from upside down.
Okay, then stab away, sir.
Here we go. Oh, I got a 1.
Again.
Jeff, I think your dice might be broken.
Please stop helping us.
That's going in dice jail.
Right. Okay. You do 2 damage to him anyway. That's something. You helped. He's not dead, or even close to dead, but you hurt him a little bit. What happens? Right.
Does everyone just shrug and be like, no, that's not.
Bunny just shouts, aim for his body.
What you've done is just picked some glint out from between his teeth of his skull.
Yeah.
With your
You'd have been better off trying to hit yourself in the head.
Here's what happened. You stab him while you're being held by him. So he sort of stumbles off balance. He reaches down to steady himself, and by horrible coincidence, his hand closes around the hilt of his giant sword. So when he comes back up, he's basically holding a giant sword and you. And you can see his
Dual wielding a halfling.
There's no intellect there. He's animated by unholy forces. But you can see it's apply A to B. Right. But before that happens, Anna, your turn.
Okay, so Bunny is going to use her great axe, and basically she's going to try and smash the skeletons off her legs.
Okay.
which could go horribly wrong. She might end up actually taking off one of her own kneecaps at this rate. But that is the aim, so that it frees her up to move.
Cool. Give me a roll.
Oh God, 12.
12 plus total, is it?
That is the total.
Okay, one for the essential is 13. Still only still a miss. So basically, you damage one of them, but not enough to kill it. Right. Okay. 2 big skeletons. One guy is going to. He's going to stumble past Anna, or try to, and given Steve is currently covered in small undead things slowing him down, with the obvious target. Steve, what's your armor class there?
What's my what?
Your armor class.
Oh, blimey, it's 14.
Is that including the penalties, yeah?
It is, yeah.
Excellent. 20!
Bye, Steve.
Here's Flemish. Yeah.
He strikes you 9 damage. 9 damage and 5 ongoing damage, which means at the start of your turn, every turn you'll take another 5 until you make a saving throw against it.
Oh, bloody hell.
We'll get to that on your turn, though. The other guy is the one holding Jeff, and he's got his sword. He's going to apply his sword to Jeff. I'm giving you a bonus because of all your ones. But he too suffers from your disease of rolling really badly. It wasn't quite a 1, but it was 1 adjacent. It was a 7. So yes, basically, he tries to hold up, tries to bring his sword around, misjudges your height, and you just feel from your hair. Right. Round 3. So at 2. Steve, you're beset by many foes.
Yeah, it's great. Get a cane. Right.
First of all, roll your Elven Grace firstly again.
Sorry.
Also, sorry. Yeah. Roll your Elven Grace firstly. Your D6 again.
Oh. I got 6.
Nope. You need to roll. Because the SHI is a 2, you need to roll a 2 or less.
I got a 6.
Can
I use Lethal Hunter?
You can indeed. Do you want
against the mooks grabbing hold of me?
Yep, you can. Cool.
So I rolled a 22.
Okay. What was the dice roll?
16.
I'll give you the crit because I'm nice. Cool. Yeah, roll damage and double it.
16.
Okay, which is doubled. Is that doubled or?
Oh, wait a minute, because it was 4 plus, so that's 12, so it's 24.
So 24 damage. Okay, and they're 7 points each, so that is, and one of the territory, so that's 6. That's 4 of them. So yeah, so basically, you're killing 4 of them. So you kill 3 attacking you.
Excellent.
And which of the one hanging on to Anna and the one hanging on to Justin, which do you want to smash?
Anna.
Okay. Cool. Describe how your hail of arrows kills 4 undead.
I knock the arrows, I shoot them up into the air, and they just fall around me like death rain.
Excellent.
That's right, death rain.
Death rain.
I'm going to trademark it. That's my new power now, my new skill.
Nice.
Actually, given you were in a low-ceilinged barrel, that's quite a trick, I must say.
Yeah. It wasn't a very high rain.
Oh, I see.
It was rain.
Perfect ricochets off the roof.
Yeah.
It's Scottish rain. It comes in sideways.
Yeah.
Justin, you have 1 undead creature clinging to you. What are you doing?
Well, I feel like my Ray of Frost might be fun. So I think I'm gonna hit it with that on the basis that the damage will also transfer to all the other ones. I feel like that might be a useful thing to do.
Okay. Give me a roll to hit then. Get +2.
No, I get +2 for the round, and my ranged attack is also a +2, and then I've got +7 versus physical defense on the Ray of Frost. Do I add that as well?
Yeah, basically, you're +9, basically.
Nice. Or 9, or should it be 11? Because it's 7 and 2 and 2 for the round.
Where are you getting the +2 from?
My basic ranged attack is just a +2.
It's a spell. So it's separate. It's already factored in. So.
Oh, right. Okay, so it's +9.
Throwing stones, whatever.
Okay, so cool. Just +9. Nice.
A mere +9.
I needed the +9 because I rolled a 3, so 12.
Right. I'll be generous to you as well. Yeah, 3d6 damage.
Nice. 10.
Cool. That will kill 2 of them. So you have 4 of them left. Right. So you blast the one on you, and one of the other guys get equally frozen. So you're down to 4 of the small guys. And they're next. Oh. 4 characters, 4 small guys. But Jeff is still suspended, so be cruel to one of you. Anna, I miss you. One of them gets Jeff's disease and misses. And Steve also misses. It is not the best turn for Team Dead. So the last guy will go for Anna. And with this heroic effort, one guy basically leaps onto your back, or leaps out of his grave onto your back and sort of clings around, hanging on with your neck, going, "Get him, get him!" in the tongue of the dead.
Okay.
So Anna that's 2 damage, and one of them is clinging to you.
So down to 14. Okay.
Jeff.
Do I lose 2 hit points as well?
Yes. But with getting hit points back, there you use these skill recoveries. Each of you can basically take a turn to recover and get in the middle of battle and take hit points back, basically instead of attacking. Or some of you have different ways to get hit back, or after a battle you can just heal up using those. Anyway, Jeff, you are still clean.
I'm dangling upside down, and I don't care. I don't care I'm upside down. I don't want to break free. I want to stab this skeleton thing with it, so it doesn't use me as a weapon against somebody. And with a brand new dagger, I hit 27. I rolled then.
That is so definitely it. Are you using one of your powers? You had like evasive strike and deadly thrust and sure cut.
I just have momentum for those.
Not for all of them. Doesn't matter.
I can use evasive strike, so if I hit, I can pop it afterwards.
Cool.
And that's 13 damage.
And given that will kill him because you can. Actually, what will get 4 hit points left? Do you want to give me a justification for being able to use your sneak attack damage as well?
Well, he's not expecting me to strike, is he? That's it. I'm dangling. I'm a mere pawn in his game of death at the moment.
And you've already tried to hit him once and missed, so he thinks you're laughably incompetent anyway.
He's
not alone.
Yep.
If I rolled, I only get 2 sneak attack damage. But
my best effort and your best effort to survive. Right, Anna.
Okay, so I've got a skeleton clinging to my back.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So do I get a movement and an attack, or just an attack?
You get a movement and an attack.
Okay. So I don't actually know if it will be classed as an attack, but what she wants to do is it's got around the neck, so she wants to grab its arms.
Yep.
And then like throw herself backwards against the platform, the slab, and try and crush it between her and the slab. But I don't know if that's classed as a movement or an attack.
Basically, what I'll do is I'll give you a strength test, and if you do really, really well, it'll just be a move. And you'll still be attack free.
Do I add my modifier then?
Yep.
23.
That is enough to basically squish the poor little skeleton,
Yes.
or at least dislodge him. And yeah, you do your regular attack now as well. Are you going for small skeletons or big guys?
I'm going to go for one of the big guys because I feel like I've just been fighting these little piddly things, and I'm never going to get a
The
name
big
for
guy
it.
who is largely unhurt and looks threatening, or the guy who's holding Jeff who has 2 hit points left? And
I'm going to distract the strong guy.
okay, give me a roll.
18.
That's a hit.
Yes. 2d10. 20.
Nice. Right. My 2 slightly wobbly undead guys, both of whom are very badly hurt, neither of whom have any useful support from their little tiny skeleton buddies. So one guy is going to... The same guy's been trying to kill Jeff the whole time. We'll continue this epic quest. Right. Yay! Have 9 damage and 5 ongoing damage. And the other guy goes for Anna. And Jeff's it.
He Jeffs it. Are we going to use that as a term? That's right.
Nice.
Right. So, round 4. Steve, you have ongoing damage, don't you? Or was it just...
I'm down to 7.
Yep.
Wow.
So basically,
So I'm going to use a recovery roll so I don't die.
okay. Cool. So basically, you step back, take a breather. So you roll 2d8 plus something.
And I got a 5 and a... I can read that. 7, so... Got 9.
Cool. Get 9 hit points back. And now you can make a saving throw against the ongoing damage. Basically, just roll d20 and get 11 or more.
I got 12.
You're fine. Ongoing damage has stopped.
Yay.
Justin, you have 4 rather broken-looking small skeletons and 2 rather broken-looking big skeletons.
I think I will. I think I will go for the big one that Anna's been fighting on the basis that with only 2 hit points left, surely even Jeff can kill that one. I appreciate this could be famous last words, but
Yeah.
so and I quite like my Frost Ray, so I'm going to go with my Frost Ray again and go for the other one. So, oh, that's pretty. So that is 27.
Wow.
Is that you rolled what, an 17? Was it?
It's an 18. Oh no, so it's 28 because we're +3 and +7 now, so it's 28.
So absolutely hit. Yep. Yeah, you freeze them and annihilate them, don't even bother rolling.
Awesome.
Describe, in fact, how your Ray of Frost finishes off the big guy with
it just beautifully crystallizes him until he shakes and trembles and then just shatters into a billion crystalline shards of bone.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Right. Small skeletons. 3 of them left. 3 plucky little guys. One for the take revenge on Justin. And 1 goes for Anna's. Stores one of them and hits. 2 damage. And that guy is back on your back. Or possibly still in his. And Steve, while you're back, take your breather. One of them claws out of the grave.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
2 damage. Right. Jeff, take on the last big guy.
Right, the big guy. I'm going to use Tumbling Strike.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll. I'm going to do a forward roll
Awesome.
at the skeleton, slice its ankle bones with my dagger, and then forward roll out the way and disengage from this as well at the same time. he says.
Roll it.
Oh, I got a good roll there. I got. I didn't get a good roll at all, but it's 11.
Okay. I'm not sure that hits. Probably doesn't. But because you do 2 damage on a miss, and he has 2 there is no way you could fail to kill him. So you kill him. Yay!
Yay! Well done. Well done.
He's become so used to the comforting balancing weight of a halfling, he just topples over. Right, with relative speed, you can dispatch those 3 small guys, given they are small and tiny. Right, so the bones, some battered, some frozen, settle around you. One time. And the calm descends on the burial chamber. The blue light seems to retreat from the bodies of your defeated foes and sort of gets sucked back almost through the main door of the barrow into the inner chamber, which you haven't entered yet. So you've got a door in front of you into the inner chamber, 2 side chambers, one on the side, and lots of scattered remains around you. Skirmish the halfling. How are you pronounced again, Jeff?
So Skirmish.
Skirmish, yes. With your unerring, miserly sense, you smell gold. Small amounts, to be fair, in the chamber on your left. And Arian, with your is Arian or Arlen or Arian, with your arcane senses, you can pick up some low-level magic coming from the chamber on the right.
Ooh.
But the main plot is just ahead, in the chamber right ahead of you. So, what do you guys want to investigate first? There's the chamber. There's weird stuff at the door right ahead of you. Gold, magic.
Left, gold.
Okay.
Gold that out.
I feel it's sensible to deal with the immediate threat and then raid the
Which is the gold.
Okay.
Which is the gold. The immediate threat is the gold. The gold is deeply threatening.
I mean, how much to put feature into the chamber?
I've gone. There's gold.
Yeah, basically, it looked like this little side chamber was the burial goods and treasures, and there are several small chests and urns, containing a not vast, but at the same time not inconsiderable pile of tools. Like enough to fill one of the little chests in your wagon, maybe even 2 of them if you like,
I think I should drag them to the entrance to the barrow.
Okay, so you are.
They're ready for their when we need to run out of here and walk out carefully.
Methodically looting the grave goods is the thing.
Yeah.
Cool. You're doing that.
Looting in potentia.
Yeah, exactly.
Move them.
Well, I mean, if we're doing this kind of preparatory work and there's no rush, I really should examine what kind of magic there might be in the other room, really.
Cool. So you're checking that out?
Yes, please.
Inside in that room, you find 2 things of note. One, there are several little glass jars or glass vials, which your elven senses and keen experience of adventure will say, these are potions of healing.
Nice.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Well,
Can I have one? Can I drink one?
You can all spend recoveries now to get hit points back because you're out of combat. What potions of healing do is that you spend your recovery in the middle of a fight without having to spend an action on healing up. So save them for fights. But you can all,
we've got 2 of those.
Yeah.
Nice. Is that the 2 things?
Is it better to do a recovery or drink a healing potion?
Healing potions will take recoveries too as well. Just that means you get them. They don't take an action in combat to use. So it's use recoveries now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fully recovered.
Recovery.
Feel refreshed.
On the basis I only lost 2 hit points, can we assume that I got them back?
I just wouldn't bother taking just carry that injury for the moment. The other thing is a relic.
Yeah, I'm back up.
A finger bone in a little golden case in a place of prestige in the little side chamber.
Interesting.
It's relic or something.
Does it appear to be magical in some way?
You are sensing things like through divine auras circling around it. It's got some magic.
I have a recollection with my eidetic memory of a finger being chopped off. You see,
exactly.
Which strikes me as interesting.
In fact, now that you're sort of comparing this to your perfect memory of the book you saw back in the thing, you recall it was Uther who chopped this finger off, and there's a thing threatening him. So you would guess, based on your extensive arcane experience, and that this would possibly have some bonus against undead creatures. That is like the finger bone of a saint, and could be used as a wand to boost spells, or strapped to a weapon to make the weapon magic or weapon holy.
Nice.
Indeed.
I like it.
Meanwhile, examining the door right in front of you into the inner chamber, I said there's something a bit odd about it, and now that you're looking at it, someone has fairly recently placed branches of rowan wood, or rowan tree branches, across the door.
Ah.
And can I get a wisdom or intelligence roll, whichever is better, from each of you, please? If no one has a druid relationship.
Bunny is gonna try and drag one of the branches down, and say, "Hey, should we light this so that we've got some, make a torch from it?" And what's this wisdom? 12.
Okay, that's not great. Anyone else got better than 12?
I got
17.
18.
I got 6.
18.
17.
Okay, and Justin?
17.
Two of you, being elves and having long experience with such things, you know that one of the properties of Rowan and certain druidic cults is that the barrier against the dead basically holds them in check. Basically, you put it on tombs to keep things quiet. And these rowan branches have recently been added to the door.
Right.
And as Bunny pulls one down, you hear from the far side of the door sort of a, "Who's there?"
Bunny.
It's me, Bunny Smallbottom. Who are you?
Hi. Did you steal from me?
No, Scramish did.
Whatever. Death to Scramish. Death to his people. Undying vengeance.
That seems fair.
Horde.
Okay, so Bunny tries to shove the branch back on the.
Yeah, the branches aren't blocking the door. You can still open the door quite happily. Just the branches have been sort of stuck onto it. Just it's a barrier for undead, but not people. As Bunny accuses the wrong word. As Bunny quietly points out that Scramish did not. Scramish, as you're dragging the gold out to the entrance of the barrel, when Uther says, "Why is my horde?" the other barrels in the area all quiver and pebbles start rolling down the sides. And flares of bluish flame from several of them sort of flare up and then gutter out.
Just start dragging it back into the barrow. Put it back. Sorry. Really sorry. Absolutely sorry. No, total accident. We're just keeping it safe for a moment. Oh, it's yours. Sorry.
There's been a giant misunderstanding.
I thought I'd drop this here, but obviously not. It's,
So, what are you guys doing?
I'm telling Bunny to step away from the door and stop poking the tree.
Does seem sensible. But really, we need to go through this door and wipe this guy out, don't we?
Yeah.
That was your current.
We could just go in there and kill him.
That seems sensible.
But didn't all that blue mist that was the skeletons all go in there, which means then we've got to fight them again.
You would guess that it was basically his spirit that was animating them, or his eldritch influence.
Yeah, I do that to be his power. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you want to do?
I mean, ultimately, the whole point of this is we got to go through that door. We might as well. Though what might be useful is it might be useful for those of you using weapons, like melee weapons, maybe strap some rowan tree branch to your weapon to see if it's useful to improve its effect.
I would like to argue that the dwarf's axe handle is already made of rowan wood.
Awesome.
That seems like a cool thing to have done.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Not just free face.
So, who's opened the door?
Bonnie.
Not me.
Yeah.
Almost
So
certainly.
let's be honest. Buddy's going to do it whether we volunteer or
Yeah,
not. Let's be honest.
It doesn't matter what we say.
Right. They're seated on a sort of stone throne is a skeleton. And Arian, you, as I said, have eidetic memory, and you recall the illustrations of Sir Uther. And in pretty much every illustration you saw of him, including the flip book, he was wearing this distinctive suit of plate armor. And it's clear that he was buried in plate armor because some of it is still on him, but the breastplate is gone, the gauntlets are gone. Clearly, someone has, at some point, possibly in the last 200 years, possibly more recently, broken into the tomb and stolen his armor.
Ah.
No wonder he's angry.
He sits there, he's on the throne, this mobile skeleton. These wraiths circle around him. And it's a bit like the bit in Indiana Jones where they open the Ark, as in
right.
Sometimes they look like beautiful women, and then from other angles they're these skeletal horrors. But none of them are attacking you yet, although he does have a really, really big sword across his lap, which is open in the illustrations. They Scramish the thief, I know thee. You've been accused.
I haven't actually. I've put it back. Just over there.
I am Uther, lord of these lands. I bring judgment. I bring justice. You are told of your crime.
I'm sorry, did you say Scramish? That's not me. Sorry, Scrimmish. I'm Scrimmish. Scramish. Cousin, not me.
He just left.
He's gone.
Man. He's gone.
That's my brother.
Yeah. He's legged it, mate. You've got no chance.
You living are hard to understand. So very tired. I slept so long. I wake now again. Yes, the old bloodlust rises in my veins. Ish.
So we should probably destroy this guy, I think.
Maybe we should find out who nicked his armor so we can go and give it back to him, and he might stop doing whatever he's doing.
Do we not know if they're in plate armor?
There was the bodyguard in plate armor.
He had quite a lot of armor, didn't he?
He did.
Can I? So, using my fabulous memory, did the armor that the bodyguard was wearing bear any resemblance to Uther's fabulous armor?
It did not. It was covered in sigils of hail.
Can we tell him it was him anyway?
I mean, I'm thinking back now to this conversation that obviously Scramish told us about that he'd seen during the night about the two brothers arguing and pointing, and I wonder whether what the problem is that one of them, probably the Baron who sent us on this quest, is the one who broke in and stole some of the armor because, let's say, he's having financial difficulties and wanted to sell it. I wonder if perhaps he's done this himself. Sorry, Gareth?
The armor was like, fabulously expensive, and was like, it was not like encrusted in gold. It was like made of mithril or platinum.
Right. So it strikes me that there's a decent chance that the idiot who sent us on this quest probably caused this problem by stealing the armor in the first place. So we can either just kill him, or we can go and tell him to put the armor back.
We could do both.
We could do both. We could kill him and take the rest of the armor.
Who would know? Or we could
Bunny can challenge him to single combat.
Sorry, what?
Bunny can challenge him to single combat.
I would like to see that, Bunny. I really would.
I mean, I admire your pluck. However, I'm mildly worried about you not being able to reach his head with your weapon. Might be a bit of a worry.
Everyone's the same size.
Speciesism in this.
We're now going to hit the fundamental rule of all RPGs, where we discuss it for half an hour, come up with a sound tactic, and then shout charge.
Okay, so in that case,
we discuss the more the road magic fades, and I shall emerge from my tomb.
So basically, you're saying, hurry up and let's just hit him. Let's just kill him. I can't be bothered going all the way back to the castle to have a combat.
We're going to have to kill him, aren't we?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's kill him.
Bunny says to Scramish, look, you're the thief. Why don't you take his sword, and then it'll be easier to kill him?
It is an excellent idea, Bunny, and one I will take under advisement and send to committee. when the report's in. I think that sword's bigger than me.
That is true.
I think it's probably
Let's
wise.
send one of the big people in for it.
Attempts to destroy it.
We could trade. We could give him an egg.
What's it?
We could give him an egg to go back to sleep.
Why would he want the egg?
I don't know.
Okay, good. Good. I thought I was
Maybe
missing
he
something.
collects eggs.
No, that's fine. Yes, good.
Is
Good.
his remains in the same room? So his corpse is that's what he is. It's his animated corpse.
He possesses his own corpse, yes.
So, and he's holding a sword, and there's these wraiths flying around him, and it's not looking like
he hasn't got any armor on.
Who got, let's be honest, the shit kicked out of us by some skeletons, are going to do a brilliant job against this thing.
Well,
maybe we could throw one of the eggs at him and see what it does. Can't make him any madder.
Well, I mean, it could, but let's try it anyway.
For all we know, it could be some kind of toxin that enrages anybody that experiences it.
So do you want to go get an egg?
I was just thinking villainously.
So is the plan to retreat out and get an egg? Or
maybe we could show him the egg. Tell him, look what this is. It's an egg. This is great. It's far better.
Just show and tell.
Just some pox armor. This is an egg.
3 of us attack him, and the 4th one goes to get an egg.
We are fixating on the egg now, aren't we?
I said we should have brought an egg in.
Can I sneak up behind him and steal his sword and take his sword off him as a wood elf? And
you can try. He does have the wraith circling around him. I suspect.
Yeah, that would make it difficult.
Aggressive. Currently, he's just sitting on the throne, not making any hostile moves.
I don't want to make him make hostile moves.
Yeah. You would guess as long as the rowan is on the door, he's stuck here. But the rowan magic is going to fade in a few days.
Oh, in a few days. Oh, we've got loads of time to talk about it.
Oh, yeah,
We're fine then.
We'll be halfway to the
Not a
next
couple
town.
of days. Then maybe we should just go back to the castle and tell them to put the armor back.
We could just literally just leave and be like, "Yeah, you're not our problem, mate."
Yeah, sensible.
Because I don't think that we might not do very well against whatever he is and whatever they are.
I have this saint finger here, which is going to boost my spells against the undead. So there's that.
That's not
Okay.
his finger, is it?
No, it's a finger he cut off a saint. It's going to work. It's going to improve my strength against the strength of my spells against the undead. You see.
Okay, well, you have a go, and we'll see what happens.
Poke him with the finger. In his eye socket.
Because if you're going to go, you only go once, so you might as well go big.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know now.
Return
I'm
my armor.
indecisive. Yeah, let's just go.
So,
let's just go.
I think we should go.
I feel like even if we defeat him, if all the other barrows are also kind of waking up,
yeah,
this could be an issue. We might destroy him and walk out of the barrow and find that we're surrounded by 15 other of these things.
I mean, it's possible he's a rule-bearing boss, and like killing him will stop everything. We don't know.
Yeah, see,
Yeah, exactly.
he might not be a mothership. So,
Right, so we're going to head back to the castle, try and find the armor, and get it back here.
Cool.
If the armor is there.
2 questions. Are you closing up the entrance to the barrow or leaving it open?
Block it with a token.
close the door with a Rowan.
Okay, cool. But
Yeah.
I'm still behind that.
let's not have him freed, roaming
Yeah.
around.
Ready
Being
up?
very angry.
Yep.
Bunny wants to fight.
Bunny, I promise you we'll find you something to fight on the way home.
If we do this, you get a statue and a song.
Yeah. Yeah, don't
Yeah,
forget
but
the statue in the sun.
Bought something. What's the song going to say otherwise?
I tell you what, you can hit all the skeletons on the way out. Just take out a bit of frustration on the skeletons on the way out, okay?
Okay.
I can hear you defiling things out there. Stop defiling. Buddy, small bottom, you have offended her. Vengeance will be mine as soon as I emerge from my sleep.
You will remember my name forever, though.
I think we all will, to be fair.
Yeah, we're not going to forget it.
Right.
Right.
As you emerge into the chill night air, can I get a wisdom test off everyone, please?
13.
Any perception-y type things?
18.
Cool.
9.
Right. Bane, with your keen elven senses and ranger trackiness, you, as you're emerging from the chill, you totally saw some movement over by the wagon. And when you get back to the wagon, you spot, searching in the darkness, you spot some footprints. Very light, like a lesser ranger would not be able to find them. But someone was examining the wagon and then fled when you guys emerged.
Follow the footprints.
Okay, give me a tracking roll there, please, which is a wisdom chest.
I got a 15.
Cool. You're pretty sure that these well, you can't follow the trail exactly because the ground was established as being muddy, so yes, you can't follow the trail exactly. Have a muddy trail bonus. It's leading off in the direction of the Coldlaw Wood, which is the wood between the 2 baronies, which is dark and noisome and dangerous. Yeah, something's off in there, and someone came out of that wood, it would seem, and either was watching you approach the barrows, or arrived when you guys were inside fighting undead.
Can we just count the crates and make sure we've... I mean, I don't really care that much, but are there still 8 crates there?
There are slave crates there. It looks like you destroyed them before they could take any of them, or even find out what was in there. Given,
well, I like to think that as a wood elf, I have really good eyesight in the dark. So, could I kind of creep closer to the woods and just have a look, just to see if there's any movement or anyone like just kind of hiding behind a tree or something?
Yes. Give me a roll there. Just D20. Roll high.
What am I rolling against?
It'd be what would be best status?
The dark.
13.
Yeah. For a moment, you glimpse someone standing there. Not saying like you're lurking in the shadow of the trees, And then when she sees you looking at her, she suddenly turns into a raven or a bird of some sort and flaps darker into the forest.
Oh, well, that bodes well.
Yep. Someone with druidic powers, and you would guess it's possibly connected to the rowan branches blocking the tomb.
Ah, so they might have been the person who came along after the idiot who burrowed in and stole the armor and actually did something useful.
Conceivably, yes. So, is the plan to stomp around the woods in the middle of the night, to wait until dawn and the woods, or head back down the track towards the castle?
My thought would be just get back to the castle because this druid seems to be on the good side. Really, probably want to leave her alone.
Cool.
Yeah, do we head back to the castle, don't we? Let's go and
Did
find out
anyone?
who's got them.
Sorry, did anyone else see the woman, or was it just Bane?
Just Bane, I think.
Okay.
Given he was
So
tracking.
I wouldn't have seen if many women whilst at the castle the first time because I wasn't with Bunny, who went to see the wife. So I would know if it was the wife.
You're pretty sure it wasn't, given just this one was dressed in drab clothing and it had a glimpse of her features, but she definitely didn't strike you as a lord's wife.
Okay.
More so feral woman of the woods.
Yeah.
Right, so you traipse back, avoiding the suckiest parts of the mud, back down the burial trail, through the town of Butwick, which you arrive in a bit after dawn, so the town's waking up around you. Smell of fresh baked bread.
Always good.
And you arrive at the castle, park your wagon in the conveniently located car park, and are you marching in the back gate or the front gate?
I don't do back gates. There's a matter of self-respect to be had here.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in a hurry.
Okay.
Okay, I understand. Fair enough. And this rare circumstance, I will come in the back gate with you.
Okay, cool. In the back gate. And servant there immediately runs up, opens the door, hustles you guys into the little back tower at the back, and says he'll fetch Lord Brismus right away. And indeed he does. Lord Brismus comes hurrying down, hastily pulling on his tunic and yawning. Oh, my word! You swift work. You must have only arrived at the tomb last night, and you're back here already at first light. I go-getting type people.
So, then he walks up and grabs the bottom of his shirt and looks up at him. And she says, "Did you steal the armor?"
What armor?
I can tell when people are lying.
Armor.
This man is not lying.
It's not lying.
He's not lying. He is entirely truthful when he says he's not stolen the armor. He's back going, what?
Did his brother steal the armor?
Are you asking him or are you asking the brother? The brother's not here.
I'm just.
What about Stephen? Any armor being stolen?
All right. So having checked with Bane about him being honest, I'm just going to face him down and say, listen, somebody stole your great-grandfather's armor. That's why you've got the problems. You need to figure out who stole the armor and why they would have done it and put it back.
Okay. Did you solve the problem, though? I mean, certainly I'm eminently fine with returning grave goods. As I said, we're not stealing grave goods, right? But
Spanish was going to.
Scrimmage was going to, I think you'll find. Scramish wouldn't do that kind of thing. Honest merchant.
But did you make the blue glow and the peasant revolt and the implications about my marriage go away.
Well, it can't until the armor's returned.
Oh,
The armor is the solution.
oh, did you try doing the whole?
We were very heroic.
Oh, good.
Heroic.
But it didn't work. Oh.
We considered it, but on the basis that our options were get you to fix the problem or risk dying, we liked the idea of getting you to fix it.
I wanted to fight.
Bunny did want to fight. That's fair.
I mean, I am new to the whole being a lord thing and giving querns to adventurers, but I thought the whole issue was that like, you guys go and fight for me as opposed to me solving the problem myself. But it's a learning experience for all concerned. Okay. So should I make him new armor?
No, we need to find out who stole it. Who might have wanted to steal it? Anybody got money problems that you know of?
My family was very, very poor because of the constant wars, but the Hales are quite wealthy and now a handsome dowry. So now I have money. So I'm doubly innocent. Not only did I not do it, but I don't have a motive to do it either.
Can we talk to your wife? She might know something.
So certainly she's very clever. But yes. Stay here, out of sight, because again, peasant revolt. If actually, not about peasant. I'll go get her.
Okay.
He hurries out. Hargle is waiting outside. Closes the door after him. Opens the door. Leaving you guys alone for a minute.
What do we think? My suspicion is the brother.
Yeah, that was mine as well. But then what were they arguing about? He didn't know about the armor.
That's a good question. He didn't know about the armor, but that doesn't mean he didn't know that his brother had gone into the barrow.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
So it could have been that he knew that.
Can I have a wisdom check, please?
10.
6.
12.
4.
Jeff?
4.
This apparently
It's so clever.
This is significant plot things happen that you're unaware of. So happen that you're unaware of somewhere nearby.
Brilliant.
And after a few minutes, Lady Hale, Margot Hale, or actually Lady Quent at this point, because she's married, Lady Hale Quent, comes down. Unlike her slightly flustered husband, who was put out tunic, she is elegantly dressed even at this hour of the morning. I understand you wish to see me to discuss your querend.
Well, someone stole the armor from your husband's great grandfather, and now he really wants it back, or he's going to kill a lot of people to get him to stop whatever he's doing at that barrow. But do you know anything about the armor? Did you nick it? Did your friends nick it? Did your family nick it?
No. When I urged my husband to hire adventurers, I thought that you would go and kill things for him. Not here and ask awkward questions. The whole point was to resolve this quietly. But
I can understand
the armor.
Why you think that. I can understand why you think that, but he's really, really angry and really powerful, and we don't want to die.
To be fair, coming back to speak to you is quieter than blowing up the barrow.
That is a good point.
Yes. On that topic, I understand. Hargle, be a dear and get my husband a drink, please. Hargle manhandles the Baron up the stairs. I understand you're transporting some goods for my family. Perhaps it would be best to return to the barrow and use one of them, I believe number 4, would deal with this problem if the only solution is violence.
Okay.
Okay.
But does it need to be violence? Because it occurs to us that if we just figure out who's got the armor, how well do you know your brother-in-law?
We have had differences.
Is it possible he stole the armor?
You'd have to ask him. I certainly would not rule it out. He has been rude.
Okay. Can we see him?
I'm sure. I am not a servant to go fetch him, but I'll find a servant who will be a servant to go fetch him. One moment. She steps out as well. Can I have another wisdom check there, please?
19.
13.
This time we're paying attention. Except for
Did you
Jay.
say 1 again?
1.
Right, the two elves with your keen elvish hearing. You can hear muffled arguments off in the castle. Hargle stomping up and down. The town waking up in the early morning. Castle doing stuff. Servants doing servant things. Somewhere in the distance. Go.
Ooh, the Raven Dry.
Oh.
Right.
We could
I'm
really
liking to think
go-
of his cake.
We could use talking to her.
Yeah, it might be worth that.
So, after a few minutes, you hear a muffled argument outside, and then Hargle casts the door open and muscles the Baron's brother Asphod inside. How dare you bring me down here? My brother's hired ruffians. How dare you question me? I'm the brother. No. What do you want?
We know you stole the armor. Where is it? And can we have it back?
What armor, you guys? I'm
Yeah, well, yeah. You're a very bad liar. Where's the armor?
Bunny unslings her axe. Just lets it sort of tink, tink, tink on the flagstones.
Now, says Argyle. We can't have you killing the Baron's brother like this.
Is there other way we can kill him? Or
That wound.
Close the door behind him. It'll have to look like an accident, okay?
I can
This is
make
very
it look like an accident.
He accidentally got hit in the head with an axe.
Yes,
Exactly.
it was an axe incident.
There you go. Yeah.
Right. At this point, it's rolling for initiative time again.
Oh,
Ooh, I say.
can we take like a 2-minute break?
Yes, we can. Dramatic,
So that I can just
dramatic 2-minute break.
Good call.
Here's my whiteboard.
I shall be back in a moment.
I'm going to alt tab over to the YouTube window and see if there's chatter.
I feel like she's doing a song now at this moment.
Jamie, getting ready for bed? It's your bedtime, my darling. Bed now.
I feel like we should have killed the big bad thing.
Certainly an old option.
To be fair, you spent the entire first fight dangling upside down by a skeleton. So
Hey, I did, but I killed one.
you did. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Died of embarrassment.
It's my greatest weapon. I did, but I killed one. It's my greatest weapon. I did, but I killed one. You're getting a lot of feedback on it.
Sorry. For your feedback, because I've got the YouTube window and the Streamer window open, and I've usually one of them.
Vote now.
I'm consulting with my co-GMs.
I feel like we should take the son back, or the brother back, and just shove him in the crypt barrow and say, there you go. Family issue, you sort it out, don't be involved.
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea. Just drag him down there and go, here you go. He stole it.
Now it's your problem.
Right. So, yes, you. Yeah.
Okay, 5.
So you guys were menacing the poor brother. Spod. So, because he is actually a remarkably good fighter compared to his older brother Barismus, as you may have gathered, he's better for everything. Yeah, roll for the whole initiative things.
15.
So 15 for
Me.
13 for Benny.
13.
23.
Jesus Christ, elves.
And for Scramish is 23 as well.
You got heard that. Yeah.
I can roll for initiative, I just can't roll for anything else.
Yeah.
You go first, and then it just goes downhill from there.
Okay. Asphod gets 12 plus. He gets a 20, which is respectable, but not enough for that. Given he's in the room and ridiculously tough, where is he? Hargle gets a 22. And plot-related elements happening outside get a 16. Just want you
more observant.
yeah. Just want you guys. I've erased it with my piece of paper.
15.
15. Excellent. Cool. So you're one behind plot-related elements. Right. Right. So, you're first. Asphod basically lunges to the side as you try to restrain him and whips out his sword. What are you doing?
Oh, why did you have to escalate it with a sword? In that case, I will have to whip out my dagger
Well, yeah.
and try to cut his legs. That's the only bit I can reach.
Okay, give me a roll.
14.
Okay. Basically, he leaps over your blade, being agile. You cut him, but he's not especially down. What are you doing? As you guys already decide, but
So
Baron.
I'm rolling my Elven Grace.
Yep. Over 6.
And I got a 2.
Cool. Not enough because the escalation die has reset back down to 0.
Brilliant. So I'm going to use a. We're in a small room, aren't we?
You guys are in. It is a relatively small, like bottom floor of a tower room. So yeah, it's like medieval cramped.
Okay, so I'm going to move as far away from him as possible.
Cool.
And do a ranged attack and try and kind of take out one of his legs or something.
Cool. Give me a roll.
So I got blimey, I got a 24.
That is so completely a hit.
And I will roll for damage. Got 10. I got 14.
Okay, yeah, that is definitely an arrow to the knee.
Excellent. That was what I was going for.
Right. Next is Hargle. Where have I put? Here he is. He will take a swing with his big slamming mace. Hargo has a giant attack, a good chance of getting another bonus attack, and his attack, he's got a really high attack thing because there's a good chance you could all end up fighting him, and he still misses completely. Yeah. Okay. Next is Asphod. Asphod. Haha. He has his own version of swashbuckling, which would hit, and because you're all from close to him, it would go hit everyone. So on GR it hits. On Justin, what's your mental defense?
15.
It hits.
No.
It misses Anna, even with her low mental defense. Steve,
Too stupid to be affected.
And Hargo, it hits. So those it hits take 5 damage. And you're vulnerable to his attacks. It means a better chance of crushing you. Basically, he leaps back, brandishes his sword, and shouts, "No surrender! Death to the Hales!"
Ooh.
The dead shall rise and destroy you all! Right.
Well,
And
I mean,
So-
even Bonnie can figure out what's happening here.
he's
And
not
she don't-
okay, things happen outside involving ravens and crows and eggs and dramatic stuff, and it's really high budget and really impressive, but it's out the window and none of you can see it. But the next round,
That CGI cost a fortune to do. We haven't even used it.
Justin, what are you doing?
Okay, I'm going to drop back from the fight. I have I have my ritual magic, whereby I can make up a ritual effect and expend one of my spells to fuel it.
Yep.
And I can complete a ritual in 1d3 plus 1 rounds instead of several minutes. So I'm going to drop back and I'm going to do a ritual to cast an effect on what's his name, the brother,
Asphod.
to make him pliant and sedate and follow my commands.
Awesome. Which of your spells are you going to sacrifice for this ritual?
Blur.
Okay, cool. You basically blur his mind and make you... Cool, yeah, that works. Right, roll a d3 then.
Right. Next question is, do I have a D3? No. Can somebody roll a D3 for me, please? I don't have a D3.
D6 off it.
Ah, of course. Yes, stupid. So I rolled 5, 2.5.
So basically, it'd be 5 would be 3, so it'd be 4 rounds, unfortunately.
Okay. That's
so,
annoying.
It's true, but you can stop beating him to death at an opportune moment, and let the spell
That's
work.
what I was hoping to do.
Right. Speaking of beating to death, Anna.
I would like to rage.
Okie dokie. Right. So, you rage.
And then I am gonna take a swing at Hargle.
Okay.
He is like the bad guy, right?
He is
That would be
currently...
really unfortunate. She'd probably do it anyway, but if someone could point her towards the actual enemy, that'd be great.
It's up to you. Hargle is a deeply unpleasant person. He is currently, also fighting the same guy you're fighting, but...
Okay, in that case, I will attack Asphod.
karmically, it is entirely justified.
She's so angry, she's a little bit confused. But so Bane just yells, "Wrong guy!" and she switches back to Asphod. So it's
When you're raging, you roll 2 dice and take the best one, isn't it?
2 d20s and roll the best.
Yeah.
15
Total?
plus strength.
Yep. Oh, yeah. You with that roll.
21.
Yep, that's it. Roll damage.
Roll damage. 2d10 plus 4. Fucking hell. 6.
Ooh. He prances away from you. You've hit him, but he's not down yet. So we're on to round 2. So escalation dice goes to +1. Mr. Legitimate Businessman, what are you doing?
You're going to hit him.
Okay.
This fallback position of anything is hit something. Now, I'm at Bunny's level of not quite as angry.
Oh, yeah.
Certainly height-wise.
Oh,
But just
angry, isn't it?
14.
That's a miss, unfortunately. So 2 damage to him. Right. Next is Steve.
So, Elven Grace, what do I have to roll?
A 1 on a d6 to your bonus action.
1 on a d6. Okay, not even close. I've got a 5.
Okay,
So, I will use Lethal Hunter
cool.
and on the brother, not the other guy.
Is this your death?
My Death Rain. Yeah. TM.
Death ray.
I got a 23.
That's a hit.
And
Nice.
I did 8. I did 12 points of damage.
That is precisely enough to knock him down to 0. A precise
That's
attack.
right. That's what you get. Death
Right.
Rain.
Excellent. Next is Hargle, in fact. Now, there are a couple of issues here.
One is he's a prick.
That is issue number 1. Issue 2, he's got the ability specifically for called Cruel Beatdown. So, Hargle is he? So, Steve, draw back you go, fire, perfect shot. How are you taking him down? This is going to like knock him out or paralyze him or basically stun him in some fashion. How do you do that?
I think knock him out. Yeah, I think he hits him kind of here, and he falls back and smacks his head on the floor, and he's out cold.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Basically, fire or shoots past him, and he summons back. Thump.
Yeah.
Down. Perfectly as you planned. Hargle comes over. Big mate. Right, accident time. Those who haven't acted yet, just you're doing a spell. So Anna, do you want you were like half attacking Hargle anyway? Do you want to go to fight with a really, really big tough guy?
So Hargle is now killing Ash.
Hargle's going to kill Asphod and either blame one of you guys or make it look like an accident and like remove any threat to the Hale family from this dissident, troublemaking brother.
Okay, so Bunny's a little bit confused by all this. She doesn't quite know who are her friends and who are her enemies. She is very angry and she does very much want to hurt somebody. So I think she's kind of torn between wanting him to just do it because he's clearly the bad guy. She doesn't really want to stop him. So she's going to kind of look at Arian and go, but as she's doing it, she's kind of charging.
Right.
She's like, am I hitting him or what sort of thing?
Do you want to basically interpose yourself between Hargle and the unconscious Asphod and take the hit yourself?
Oh,
I can't speak while I'm doing the ritual, can I?
She's going to slide in on her knees, axe up, and she's going to deflect the blow.
Okay, give me a roll there.
Hopefully. 14.
Yeah, that is a total or this is just a roll?
That's total.
Okay. Yeah. Basically, given we're finishing up fairly soon, you slide in, deflect the blow. Hargle's eye bulge with fury as you get between him and the guy who's going to beat down. Then there is a caw from the window. I look up and you see the woman from the forest there, and she's holding one of the eggs, which is stolen from your wagon.
Uh-oh.
Stop, she cries. Let me take him and spray you all, otherwise we all die. All right then.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, so Bunny's kind of still like this. What? What am I doing?
I'm still mid-ritual.
You are you're going to finish up in a second. So if you stall, your ritual will become available to zap someone's mind. So what are the rest of you guys doing while the wizard?
Okay, so Bunny's just going to wrestle Hargle backwards.
You wrestle Hargle backwards.
With the axe.
So this lady's got an egg and she's threatened to throw it all if we don't stop.
Exactly.
So
and
knocking it out of hands is out of the question. So I think I'm going to pull away the unconscious dick on the floor so that the big guy can't smash his face in with a mace.
Okay.
I think that would be the sensible thing.
And Skirmish, what are you doing?
In the face.
We'll go for a swashbuckle.
Awesome.
And I will, as Bonnie suggests, go for a kick in the face, but I'm going to do it by leaping off of the back of Bane, who's pulling the person on the floor. I'm going to take 2 steps.
Leaping
on his
worked
back,
so well
jump
last
off,
time.
and kick big one in the head.
You're kicking
Just
the
to stop him.
good one.
Yeah.
Why am I always involved in your leaping things?
Right. Okay. Give me a roll and do not roll a 1.
That would be 17.
Okay. Cool. So things happen in this final climactic scene. Bunny wrestles Hargle back. Bane pulls Asphodel clear. You disarm the egg, so you're not immediately being exploded. And your ritual goes off. Who are you targeting at? Whose mind you want to temporarily blur? You've chosen 3 targets.
Well, on the basis that Asphod's unconscious, he's pretty useless to me.
He's pretty blurred already, yes.
But this newly arrived druid seems to actually know what the hell's going on, so I'm going to go for her.
Okay. Cool. Basically, Skirmish grabs the egg out of her hands. You zap her brain. She's you can easily disarm her. Right, and Hargle takes a deep breath. Look at this smashed mace, thanks to your axe. Growls, and then Lady Margot Hale rushes in. The calm situation down. Congratulate you all that you've done sterling work for the Hale family.
Of course. Satisfaction guaranteed from Skirmish and Co.
Oh, sorry.
Far more. Not only have you dealt with the issue of the troublesome ghost in the barrow, or soon will, because they will search Asphod's rooms and find the armory stole. We've also captured the ringleader of the druids in the forest, who Asphod is allied with. And now there'll be no need for them to, carpet bomb the forest with eggs of mass destruction.
You feel that we missed a lot in this.
Really?
Wow, there was a whole plot we did not know about.
Yeah. Well done.
The ringleader.
Gold there.
So, the armor is returned to Quent, or to Uther Quent, and Lady Hale is more than happy to recommend already being given permanent employ with her family of moderately evil
Crazy people. We're
overlords,
despots.
carpet bombers.
Come and work for the despots who tried to murder you.
Exactly. Well, they tried to murder you, just like you.
I got a saint's finger out of the deal. I'm happy. It's cool.
Right. So
Does Bunny get her song?
now that Sir Uther is no longer a threat to the stability of the realm, yes, the song will be how Bunny and her companions heroically defeat the evil druids who are really, really mean and evil. I'm not just trying to defend their homeland.
Are we the baddies?
Oh, wait.
It's not sounding like we're all that heroic. I've got to be honest with you. Sounds like we let the bad guys win.
Yeah, well, technically, but the important thing is the bards write the songs afterwards.
It depends on how you tell the story.
Yeah.
To be fair, the Hales are the ones who are going for peace and trade and end the wars, and commercial redevelopment of the forest.
Yeah. We are eco destroyers. Cracking.
Progress.
I'm a wood elf.
You must be really conflicted right now.
I feel like I'm okay with my name being left out of that song at this point.
Yeah, I don't want a statue, just so you're aware.
I think we'll just slink away.
The bizarre thing, we all write books for the political intrigue and double dealing and twists, and we just ignored all of them.
Hit things until they fall down.
Yeah. It's the future of books. It really is in stories. That's it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Hope everyone enjoyed that.
Great.
Yes,
Thank
that
you,
was
Gareth.
great.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
And thanks as well to the audience lurking on.
If there is one. If it's not just us.
There's definitely been a few people who have been here for at least most of it.
Yeah.
So
I'm
thanks,
very
guys.
sorry. Those of you who sounds with the whole thing.
I hope this was mildly entertaining for you, and I hope that you were at least a little bit drunk, because it was probably more entertaining if you were.
But just think they can watch it again and again now on YouTube.
Yeah, endlessly.
I do expect Gareth to write that song for me though. I want to know how Bunny Smallbottom defeated the evil whoever it was. She doesn't even know. She doesn't particularly care, but
Bunny Smallbottom, insert name here.
Gareth is writing some tabletop role-playing books at the moment for a system that I play. So I'm sure you must be able to fit Bunny in there somewhere, or a song.
Yes.
See, actually, no, I won't be able to fit Bunny into the One Ring stuff I'm writing, because I'm pretty sure Bunny doesn't appear in Tolkien. But I'm also working on a person game campaign at this point, so I will put Bunny in there.
Bunny Smallbottom lives forever.
Bunny deserves to live, I think. That's fair.
Yeah. The evil overlord has arrived.
Sorry, we've had a lot going on today. So. But, how'd everything go? I got to catch a little bit of it while I was folding clothes. So
There was a lot going on, and we missed most of it.
Yeah.
I heard
We
Steve
won.
die earlier, so
At what cost?
I think Gareth might have been winging quite a lot of that second half. I'm not entirely sure he expected us to be like, no, fuck it, let's go back to the castle.
My notes were basically, here is the initial quest and then some stuff. So I was
Well, thank y'all so much, and thank everybody that tuned in. Of course, this concludes TBRcon 2021. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see if we can expand it next year. We'll see if we can get a couple more sessions of D&D going. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I know we had some other authors that were trying to get a second game going, but we just didn't really have a whole lot of time to do it. So, but just thank y'all so much for playing a game that y'all enjoy and drinking.
Yeah,
It sounds like
it was a real hardship, man. Just going out and drinking whiskey and playing D&D was
Tough Saturday night.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Well, thank